What's up, New York Giants fans? Welcome to another edition of New York Giants Conversation. And today we're going to get into the free agency recap show. Free agency recap. New York Giants made a lot of moves. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some draft rumors. Things are heating up as far as the NFL draft is concerned. And the quarterback watch. What will Aaron Rodgers do? What will Russell Wilson do? All eyes are on those two quarterbacks and the decisions that they are going to make. The New York Giants are involved, so we're going to talk about that and more right after the intro. Y'all hit that like button. Let's go.
Welcome to Giants CONVO.
All right. Let's get into it, man. Welcome to the show. Another edition, man. Your favorite show, favorite Sunday morning show, New York Giants Conversations with me, Unpopular Opinion Sports, and my ace Boone Coon, Big Pat Sports Talk, man. Ready to give you all the news and notes, the scoop on the New York Giants, man. And salute to the chat. Y'all already know who y'all is. Appreciate y'all tapping in as always. Jay Ferry's in the building. Coach Ed, bro, in the building. Crowd favorite media in the building. Big Blue in the Bronx, my man Alex in the building.
What's going on, Alex?
Smith in the building. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Now, news is heating up as far as this whole quarterback thing with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Reportedly, the Vikings are now in the mix with Aaron Rodgers. So he's looking at the Vikings. That may be his preferred destination, according to rumors. So where does that leave the New York Giants? Now, they have Russell Wilson in the building Friday. And we're going to get into all the signings. Don't worry, y'all. But I just want to clear this up real quick because this is the main thing going on right now is what is going on with the quarterback. So they had Russ in the building Friday. You know, according to reports, meeting was cool. Everything was okay. No signing. I don't know why, because they are waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Pat, why are the New York Giants putting all their eggs in Aaron Rodgers' basket at this point?
I think it's a little bit of desperation on trying to win this year. When you look at it, you got to look at it from their point of view. It's a little bit of desperation on their side as far as winning now, because of the reports of John Mara in the beginning of the season saying that, hey, he's a little fed up and he wants to see some wins. He wants to be playing meaningful football. Can't talk today. Towards the end of the season. So do you feel that you could do that better with a rookie quarterback, or you could do that with a veteran quarterback? And obviously, I guess they feel Aaron Rodgers is the best available in free agency. So that's what they're going for. I think these dudes are trying to save their jobs. I'm trying to look at it from both points of view, and see as an owner, when you say certain things, you cause certain reactions. So if you would have just told them, hey, go get your guy, and I want to see you, produce with your guy from the draft, and I want to see him be developed like you said that you would, I don't think they'll be entertaining the whole idea of getting an Aaron Rodgers. But it seems like it's like they got to win, maybe get to the playoffs or else. So you get certain reactions from certain things that you hear from your owner. So if I hear that I have to win games and we have to play meaningful football towards the end of the season, do I feel that I could do that with a rookie quarterback, or do I feel better if I had a veteran quarterback in the building? So you're really turning their attention away from what it's supposed to be on, which is getting your quarterback, getting them trained up to be the best that he can be.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got those guys just looking to get some victories on the board, no matter how they do it or not. So it's a weird thing. When you're the owner, man, when you say certain things, man, you put that energy out there, man. So now they're trying to get what you want. You want a team that can make it into the playoffs. Well, guess what? That's what they're trying to do. And I think they're both crazy because
Yeah.
I'm going to get a rookie quarterback, and I'm going to show you exactly what I was talking about this whole time. If I had good quarterback play, I'll be doing this. Well, go get your guy. You get to mold your guy. He doesn't come with any baggage. He doesn't come with any prior bad experiences, and you get to teach him because this is your mode of clay. But
Mm-hmm.
it just shows you, do they really have confidence in themselves? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
So, Alex asks a question. Big Blue in the Bronx, salute, bro. Says, would you rather have A, Russell Wilson and a developmental guy, or B, Joe Flacco and Sador? I'd rather have Joe Flacco and Sador.
Yeah.
That that's my answer. See, the bridge quarterback is not that important to me. It's who you getting in the draft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if it's Russell, if it's Flacco, if it's Jameis, if it's whoever, I'm not worried about it. So again, they talking to Flacco, had him in the building according to reports, had Russ in the building, but they waiting on Aaron Rodgers. So, like you said, I think that's an indication that they are not really in on the quarterbacks in this draft, which is crazy work. Crazy work. But like you said, if this is a John Mara thing, again, you got to point back to the owner. Does he want an Aboriginal quarterback in the building? These are discussions that we've been having on this platform. So, but to answer Alex's question, I'd rather have B, Joe Flacco and Sador. I think Sador is the play for the New York Giants. I think it's the best fit, despite what others are saying. That's my unpopular opinion. But Pat, what's your answer? What you think about what Alex said there?
Oh, just go with Joe Flacco and Shador. Because I believe Shador is the best quarterback in this draft. Even though I think Cam Ward is right there with him. I think Cam Ward would be more exciting, but I think Sanders would be more efficient. And I look for efficiency in my quarterback. So that's why I choose Sanders over Cam Ward. Not saying Cam Ward can't be efficient, but I know that those crazy mistakes can happen with Cam Ward way before Shador Sanders. And Joe Flacco, he's a perfect bridge. If you want to play Joe Flacco for a couple of games and let Shador get ready, then you do that. See, what should have been said is, hey, they got 2 years left on their contract. And this is what John Mara should have said. They got 2 years left in their contract. They have to get their quarterback this year. I'm going to give them 1 year with their quarterback to get him ready. And then that next year, if we're not in playoff contention, they're gone. That's what I would have said. Instead of, oh, they got to do it now and everything, because it just makes the whole situation weird. It is what it is, man. We'll see. And there's some people say, you go get Russell Wilson, then with the number 3 pick, take the best player available, whether it's Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter or Mason Graham or whatever, and get somebody like Milroe in the second round. I'm actually not too mad at that. It's just that, can you trust these guys to develop a Milroe? You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I don't know, man. Salute to the chat, Ghost Dog. I see you. Miz in the building. Peace. I see you. Born for Sports. Peace, man. Appreciate you tapping in.
Born
Ghost
for Sports.
Dog. Appreciate
Definitely
you
got to
tapping
talk
in.
to you too. Born for Sports. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what's so crazy about trading up for your quarterback now that it wasn't crazy the past couple of years? Like, I don't get that either. Now all of a sudden, trading up for your quarterback is dumb.
But yeah, I see y'all, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. But look, to be honest with you, they the ones been saying they want to get their quarterback. They the ones been saying they need a chance. This what the media was saying with Brian Dable. Brian Dable needs his chance to develop his quarterback. But now you want to go out and get a veteran and hang your hat on that. Like which is it? I thought we brought this guy in here to be a coach first and foremost, but also, he's supposed to be this quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
Now you got to go out and get this proven veteran just to win you a couple of games. Make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? Make it make sense. It don't make no sense, man. And they chasing Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he don't give a damn. He don't give a damn, Like the chat been saying, this dude it's a circus. You know what I'm saying? It's a circus with him. And why you want to be involved with that? Why you want that kind of negativity in the media at this point? Just settle down, sign Russell Wilson or Flacco, and then take your quarterback. Whether it's Sador or somebody in the second, third round, just do it at this point, because that's all you got to sell this fan base. That's all y'all got to sell. You can't sell me on no Aaron Rodgers. How you gonna sell me on Aaron Rodgers when I just watched this shit with the Jets? And then you gonna say he gonna come over here and win you some games in the NFC East when Philly just won the Super Bowl and the Washington was just in the NFC Championship game? You think you finna come over here and win? And these fools got the nerve to say the New York Giants are a quarterback away. Are you fucking for real? Come on, man.
It's the sell the Aaron Rodgers tickets.
That's all it is, bro.
Because
y'all ain't had none of that type energy a few months ago until this Aaron Rodgers thing came out. Everybody thought the Giants was one of the worst rosters in the NFL. Everybody was talking that shit. But now, all of a sudden, we ready to win? For real? Make it make sense. You went 0-6 in the NFC East last year. 0-6. Yep. Now you ready to win based on Aaron Rodgers. Like he ever won it. He won one Super Bowl and been getting his ass kicked in the playoffs ever since. He ain't it. And you shouldn't be chasing that. You need to bring in your quarterback, and see, that's the problem with John Mara. John Mara putting this mandate on these guys got this shit all messed up. Because again, if you sold on these guys, which we told y'all we wasn't, but they went ahead and bought them back. Oh well. If you sold on these guys, you should have extended them. So that way you give them wiggle room to draft the quarterback and develop the dang on guy. So guess what? Even if you do draft the quarterback, he might not even see the field because they're going to be playing Aaron Rodgers or Russell or whoever. Come on, man. But go ahead, Pat.
I think
I went on a little rant, but man, this is a clown show, man.
I think this offense could be a lot better if it was a better scheme out there. I'll continue to say that. I think that scheme last year was absolutely insane because you were making Wan'Dale Robinson a focal point, and he shouldn't be a focal point. When I seen the end results of when Wan'Dale Robinson got 140 targets, that means your offense cannot be explosive if you're targeting him 140 times. You weren't trying to be explosive. You weren't trying to move the ball down the field. That's a fact. When you got Slayton with only 71 targets, you force-fed Malik Neighbors, and then it was just Wan'Dale Robinson. That means you're playing the short game. You're playing a short game, hope he catches the ball, break 8 tackles, and get 15 yards. If this team had a better scheme, I think this offense could be a lot better than what it was last year. And that's just a fact. Those 140 targets, those targets should have been cut by almost, I say by at least 90. You give Wan'Dale Robinson something like 60 to 65 targets. You know what I'm saying? You get him involved in the run game somehow, some way, get him some jet screens of such. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't use your receivers the way they were supposed to be used last year. Now, whether you had no faith in Daniel Jones or whatever, that right there should change your perspective on any quarterback coming in the game. You know what I'm saying? If I say that I'm this offensive guru and I'm this quarterback whisperer, why am I scared to go into the season with a rookie quarterback?
That's what I'm saying.
Knowing that my offense can put up points as long as the quarterback is efficient. Why would I have to go out there and beg and plead with Aaron Rodgers, which I hope they're not doing, but it just looks like it. You know what I'm saying?
It
It
does,
looks
don't
like
it?
it. And that may not even be the case. They may just be, really thinking about this quarterback situation. Because if we take, like somebody said in the chat, if they take a Russell Wilson, will the Browns take Shedeur Sanders? And that's the guy that I really want. So I really can't sign Russell Wilson. I need to let him go to the Browns. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to think about everything as well. But it does look like these dudes are waiting on Aaron Rodgers. And maybe that is the case because they know if they sign Russell Wilson, there's a chance the Browns may take a quarterback too. I think Cam Ward is the number 1 pick.
Yeah. That's what it's looking like right now. Salute, franchise. Appreciate you tapping in, man. I got some of you guys' comments. I'm gonna read them here off in a little bit, man, because you guys are talking some pretty good stuff here in the chat, man. Salute to y'all. But again, man, I'm about drafting this quarterback, man. Like, if you sign Russell Wilson or Joe Flacco, I don't know why that deters you from taking a quarterback at that point. Now, Alex said it. Sign Russ and be done with it. The problem is that gives the Browns Shedeur Sanders. Here's an interesting thing about the draft. We could talk a little bit about the draft here now. I don't think there's no way Abdul Carter gets to number 3. One of those two teams are taking Abdul Carter, I feel like. I think they bluffing. I think one of them is bluffing. Now, it might be the Browns or it might be the Titans, but it kind of looks like the Titans are going in on Cam Ward. So I think the Browns are bluffing. I think they're going to take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Now, if you're the Giants, say they do take Shedeur Sanders. If you're the New York Giants, do you take, because again, there was some things going on that I was looking at. Matter of fact, let me pull up my tweet here. Hang on just a second, because people are saying now that the Giants are right here. People are saying the Giants, R. Stapleton says, Giants have Hunter as a QB, a CB with wide receiver packages from what I heard. So, I mean, are you taking a cornerback at 3rd overall? That's what we doing? That's what we doing? Or are you going to take another pass rusher? Make it make sense. Let's talk about what the play is here. Because if it ain't a quarterback, what are you doing at 3? What are y'all doing at 3? Talk to me.
I would say this. Me personally, I'll probably go with Travis Hunter because he can actually fill 2 needs with 1 player. If he's able to, replicate what he did in college. I know him as a receiver is going to be dope. I think he's a better receiver than cornerback. A lot of people believe he's a better cornerback than receiver. I know for a fact that me personally, I would switch that. I would have him as a receiver with cornerback packages. Or if Deonte Banks turns out to be a dud, I have Travis Hunter and I have Paulson Adebo. Then I will put him in the slot in some receiver packages, more than likely in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? I think he could be a vicious target in the red zone. Now, this is only if quarterbacks go 1 and 2 and there's nothing you can do about it. There was nothing you can do about it. I can't blame them if they go 1 and 2 and they both tell them, no, I'm not trading, I'm not doing anything, I'm taking the quarterback. You can't do anything about that. So you got to take the best player available. I think he will be the best player available. I wouldn't be mad at Abdul Carter, because if you don't have faith in Thibodeau going forward, I know Abdul Carter with Brian Burns, that could be deadly.
That's why I'm going with it, bro.
Go ahead, speak your mind.
I'm not to cut you, Brody, but I'm not taking Travis Hunter to be a cornerback at 3. I'm just not doing it. Not with the New York Giants. I'm sorry. Travis is a great player, you know, but if I'm taking Travis Hunter, he's playing wide receiver with Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. I'm not taking him at 3 to be a cornerback. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. And you just signed the guy. And you got Banks and all these other guys that you need to develop. Start developing these guys. We'll take another one here. I pass. Abdul Carter, though, that's enticing. Because now your D-line, I mean, Now you can establish dominance on one side of the football, I believe. You know, with that kind of line, you know, and you still got Thibodeau for however long you want to keep him if you pick his 5th-year option up. So that's the play in my book. You know, if it just doesn't work out like that, and then in the 2nd round, I'm taking Jalen Milroe. I got to get a quarterback. I don't care. I got to get somebody in here.
I don't think Jackson Dart makes it out the
I don't want him anyway. Round. I'm good with Jackson Dart. Now, Jalen Milroe, he needs some work. We watched him in the Senior Bowl. I mean, you know, he needs some work. But I mean, his potential is I'll take a chance on that.
So this is what I would do. Let's just say we go with your guy and be like, hey, look, we couldn't get the guys that we wanted. Let's go ahead and get Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter, you could play him in so many different positions where Abdul Carter could be on the field with Thibodeau and Brian Burns on 3rd downs, and you could use Abdul Carter as an off linebacker as well. He can do that as well. He's like a Michael Parsons archetype. Like, you can use him all over the field. And with the D lineman that we picked up in free agency, with Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, and Burns, I see exactly where you're going with it. And I think we could have a defense that could compete in the NFC East. Now, the offense, that kind of worries me because now.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. And that's the problem. That's the side of the ball that you got the most problems with.
Because now you're not going to be able to get an offensive lineman into the 3rd round. So in the 3rd round, I got to go offensive lineman with that 1st, 3rd round pick. And then more than likely, you're probably going to have to go receiver with that 1st, 3rd round pick. Because you know what? If the scheme changes, then that changes the whole perspective of everything. You see what I'm saying? The reason why people don't have faith in this offense, because I'm telling you, the scheme was so messed up. But if you could get a Milroe in the 2nd round and you could bring him in some packages where you can do some run packages and everything, you know, Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be cool with that. But if you got like a Russell Wilson, he already did it with Justin Fields. So he already knows what.
Good point.
Yeah. So you can bring in Justin Fields not Justin Fields, but Milroe on 3rd and 2s and everything, and put that threat out there of him running or him, you know, doing an RPO pass. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, that is a great plan B. You get Abdul Carter, you get Jalen Milroe in the 2nd round. 3rd round, you gotta get an offensive lineman in the 3rd round. Hopefully somebody like Tate Rutledge falls. I don't think so, but you gotta get a lineman in the 3rd round to back up Van Rotten, because more than likely he's going to be your starter again. I think him and Evan Neal gonna battle it out at guard. Hopefully Evan Neal wins it. You know what I'm saying? But
you know what? I'm actually rooting for that. tough as I've been on Evan Neal, you want a player that you took in the top 10 in the NFL draft to pan out in some type of way. You know, you don't want him to be just a total bust and not able to do anything with him. You know, so I think it's a little late, but at least they're doing it. So kudos to them. And I hope it works out for Evan Neal and he becomes, you know, a staple of our offensive line at the guard position, man, because that would be dope. Because I know the kid has talent. It's just untapped talent, and
You know,
it just ain't working out at tackle, man. His feet ain't right for that position.
you know what? Not to cut you off,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm starting to like that Abdul Carter pick even more because when you look at his film, you could play him off-ball linebacker, you could play him edge rusher. He's a player that wouldn't come off the field, so he would actually replace Michael McFadden as that second linebacker. I promise you, he would.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna take calls later on in the show. So y'all be patient. I'm starring comments too. I'm gonna read comments off too. Y'all making some good comments. Go ahead.
So if you can play him all over the field, which I think you can, that's the better pick. You know what I'm saying? I could go get a receiver in the third round that could play that slot position. I have faith in Slayton on the outside. And if you change that scheme, Wan'Dale Robinson becomes a better player. Slayton becomes more of a better player. Let's say you get somebody like Jalen Noel out of Iowa State in the third round. Let's say he slips to the third round. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you get somebody like a Kyle Williams in the third round to play that slot position. He can play outside too. So can Noel. If you could get a player like that in the third round, that actually makes a lot of sense because now you get your veteran to come in there to satisfy these Giants fans because this is all it's about. It's about satisfying these Giants fans.
Clout, like you always say, clout.
Yeah. So go get you a Russell Wilson. Let Jalen Milroe learn under Russell Wilson. Bring him in packages, like goal line packages. I think Milroe can have about 10 rushing touchdowns for you in his rookie season, not starting.
Hey, let's do some tush pushes. Fuck it.
Yeah, our third and short
situation. You know what I'm saying? Because he a pretty, you know, stocky dude. Right. So
our third and short running game could be dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to worry about that. If you put Wan'Dale Robinson in motion, you have to worry about the jet sweep. You got Tyrone Tracy out there, and Jalen Milroe can run the RPO to a T. So I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be mad at that if we missed out on Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. You know what I'm saying? We would be like the NFC East because the NFC East has a lot of gimmicks in it, but those gimmicks are so strong and so potent, like a tush push. Like a Jaden Daniels out there. He can run the RPO or he can play regular quarterback. They got a great one over there with the Commanders. So let's get Milroe trained up to where you can trust him throwing, because he could throw the deep ball, but you got to trust him throwing those stack routes. You got to trust him be able to throw in windows and throw back shoulders. Get him trained up. You get Russell Wilson for maybe 1 year or 2 years. And then you bring in Milroe. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only plan B option I have. So yeah, I agree with you. Abdul Carter could be that dude on this defense to where those things McFadden was doing, Abdul Carter's gonna make the tackle. He's not gonna miss the tackle, and he's faster. So, and you can use him all over the field. He's one of those guys that, hey, listen, we can use him at inside linebacker 2 behind Bobby O. And then when it comes to third down, if we want to move Thibodeau inside and move him to the outside, you know what I'm saying? Or if we want to go with the NASCAR package and have 4 defensive ends out there. I mean, it's so many different things you can do, but that third round, if we go that route, has to be perfect. You have to get you an offensive lineman and you have to get yourself another receiver. You do, because you can't go into the season focusing with Wan'Dale Robinson again. It's going to be the same, or I don't care what quarterback you put in there. If that dude is getting over 100 targets, it's not going to work. And that's what's making me, be kind of, I guess you could say, mean or bully Wan'Dale Robinson. I heard that I'm a bully towards Wan'Dale Robinson. No, I know what Wan'Dale Robinson is, and he's not a 140 target guy. That's not what he is. He's too small. He's too small for that. You have to use him in off-ball situations, quick screens, jet sweeps. You can run him out the backfield a little bit because he's so small. He's so little. You don't see him until it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he breaks it out there, I think he is a good player that can make people miss some things. And he's tough. He's not soft. He's tough. It's just that he's too small to get the ball to when people are covering him.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be in open field to be effective in the NFL. It's just a fact. So I don't know. That 140 targets of Wan'Dale Robinson, if that changes, I think our offense is better.
Yeah, man. They definitely need Theo Johnson back too to get him more involved in this offense. Of course, he got hurt. I do want to see them open it up and throw more to the tight end this coming season. So that's one thing too as well. Now, I'm gonna read a couple of the comments I got started, and then we're gonna go over the free agency signings, and then we're gonna open up the call line. Shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate the 70 in the chat right now. Cave, what's good with you? Nimar, I see you. Appreciate you tapping in. Brian Howard, what's good? B Howard, appreciate you tapping in. Now, let's see what we got here. Let's see. All right, let's go to Miz. Says, have a question. Is it too expensive to sign both Russ and Flacco? Russ starts and draft a kid, but maybe not at 3. So I don't need both of them. You got Tommy Cutlass. They bought him back for a reason. I guess they like the kid. You gonna draft the guy, that's 2. And so I don't think you need 2 more. You need either or, one of these 2 guys. And these 2 would be my preferred, obviously, over Aaron Rodgers, as far as a bridge. Now, I hear a lot of people saying, Alex said it earlier, like that Russ prevents the Giants from drafting a quarterback. I don't think so at 3. I don't think it prevents them from drafting Shedeur Sanders. I think that's the conversation that they had with Russell Wilson. I think they want Aaron Rodgers because they think Aaron Rodgers can win them games this year and compete for some stupid reason. I think their fallback plan is Russ or Flacco and then a quarterback. That's what I believe, and that's what I've been hearing. So to answer your question, nah, I don't think they're signing both of those guys. What do you think, Pat? Pat, you there?
They're not signing both of those guys because it doesn't make any sense to sign both guys. You sign your veteran and you go draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. And to be honest with you, that Abdul Carter situation is kind of nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're gonna get into it in just a second because I got a comment I want to read, and then I'm gonna let you go in on that. But let's get to Marley. What's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Says, I would draft Hunter, then double up on QBs in the later rounds. Put Ears or Shuck or Milrow in a QB competition and hope for the best. Okay. I'm not in on Travis Hunter unless they're gonna play him at wide receiver. If they're playing him at wide receiver, not a bad idea. If you draft 2 quarterbacks, but I really don't want to. How about you just draft a guy, maybe sign an undrafted free agent and have them compete? We've seen a lot of quarterbacks at the Senior Bowl, some good quarterbacks that have some potential. They may go undrafted. We'll see. Everybody's poo-pooing the quarterback class, so some of these guys may get pushed down into the later rounds or undrafted. So I'd go that route, rather than like taking a quarterback in the second and then taking another one in the fourth. I think that's overkill, in my opinion. But I don't mind the idea, so I'm not gonna poo-poo the idea. What's your thoughts, Pat?
I think it's just overkill. You know what I'm saying? I think it's overkill. Give me 1 second, but I think it's overkill. You don't have to draft 2 quarterbacks, especially 2 low-round quarterbacks. That really doesn't make any sense. You draft a guy that you feel that you can move forward with, and you take it from there. Give me 1 second. Be right back.
All right, cool. Let's get back to the chat. Says Jay Ferry says Flacco was a Super Bowl champ, highest paid player in the league. He ain't a third string. Right. Flacco's a decent backup. Iman says that's why I don't have any faith this season. They sitting around waiting for an old QB. Yeah, that is the point. That is the point. But Nemar says draft Shedeur Sanders and bring in Russell Wilson. This is my preferred situation. So shout out to you, Nemar. Coach says if both Sanders and Ward are gone, what do you do at 3? This is what we've been talking about, Coach. I said Abdul Carter. And shout out to Born for Sports, man. This comment right here says it all. Our front 7: Dex, Burns, Abdul Carter, Thibodeau, Golston, Okereke. That's right there with the Eagles defense talent-wise. Bowen would have no excuses. Exactly. Like, this is my preferred situation if we can't get the quarterback at 3. Now, I'm still going quarterback in the second round, or I'm using that second round to trade up in the first to draft my quarterback into the back end of the first. One of the two. Because you got to get somebody in here. But I'm not drafting Travis Hunter, and you see it on the screen, Coach. The Giants have Hunter as a cornerback with wide receiver packages. I don't want that. I don't want him playing corner. We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that at 3. I'd rather just go with the edge rush. You know, let's get back to being the Giants. How about that? When we had edge rushers coming in waves, NASCAR packages. Like, talk to me. Let's get back to that. Like, I'm tired of these corners, cornerbacks, safeties and shit. Come on. You know, like Coach said, get the fatties, the sexy fatties in there. That's what we need to keep up with the Eagles and the Commanders and all of them. You know, it ain't no knock to Travis Hunter. It's just, I don't think it's for the Giants. If you can't make the quarterback thing work, which you should, but if you can't, for some reason, just take Abdul Carter. Take Abdul Carter, man. Probably the most talented player in this draft.
Yep.
Just that's BPA, literally. That's BPA. So.
And you know what? You can't be mad at that. The only way you can be mad at that is if they had a chance to get their quarterback and, you know, they botched on it. Like the Browns said, hey, look, give us your 3rd round pick and we'll let you move up to 2 to get Shedeur Sanders. We want Shedeur Sanders, but we want to get some picks. You do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the Titans are not coming off number 1. I think they want Cam Ward. Yeah, and if you can't do anything about those first 2 picks because you won that silly ass game over there with the Colts,
right?
You get Abdul Carter, and I promise you, fans won't be outraged. They won't. I wouldn't even be outraged, even though I want one of the top 2 quarterbacks. You get Abdul Carter, who could play all over the field. And he could be a 3-down linebacker or edge rusher for you. And you go get yourself a Milroe in the 2nd round. I wouldn't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? because I think you're matching the energy of your division with both those players.
Mm-hmm.
You get Milroe trained up for a year or two, and you go out there, you run the ball at these people. You can match the energy of the Eagles. I promise you can. And then you got dogs all over the field, and you have another draft class to go with Milroe the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say if that pick is high, okay, then you go get yourself another stud player, whoever that is. You go best player available again. If it happens to be receiver, take him. You know what I'm saying? But it's only a good idea if you're ready to develop and change this scheme of offense. If you change the scheme of offense, I think this team is better last year. And that's a fact.
Shout out to Eric Johnson, man. A couple other people are echoing this statement in the chat. What about drafter Mason Graham?
No.
Yeah,
he does not change things. He does not change things. He's not that type of player to where he changes things the way you need to change over here in the NFC East, in the way your football team is being built. You know what I'm saying? You need an impact player. Dex is already an impact player at that position. You know what I'm saying? So you go get yourself Abdul Carter. I'm starting to like Abdul Carter more than Travis Hunter at 3 the more that I think about it, because Abdul Carter allows your defense to be that much better and makes your cornerbacks that much better. And now that we have Javon Holland, we have Paulson Debo,
right?
We have a Banks, we have, you know what I'm saying? We have a Drew Phillips. That's physical. I don't want to see no. I'm gonna say this. I almost went off. I don't want to see no zone with Tay Banks, Paulson Debo, and Drew Phillips.
Word,
those are 3 physical in your face corners. And if we can rush the passer and get there quick and stop these dudes from getting to their positions, and they got to get rid of the ball quick, that makes your defense that much better with a Newman, with a Javon Holland out there being good safeties. Javon Holland, you can put him as a deep safety. He can cover both sides of the field. I've looked at his film. That dude's way faster than I thought. He's a stocky little dude, but he's fast as shit. I didn't know he was that fast. So if you get physical at the line of scrimmage and you stopping these dudes from getting into their routes, hell, that's cool. Let Banks get physical with Devontae Smith at the line and put Javon Holland over the top with A.J. Brown. I have confidence in whatever slot receiver they put out there that Drew Phillips can handle that. You put Tyler Newman in the box, you got Abdul Carter, you got Dex, you got Lawrence, you got Burns. We can stop the run with Ghostin and Roy Harris and that other defensive tackle. Now we got a rotation in the inside of the line, so when Dex comes out, it's not a gaping hole. You can play some defense. Now the offensive side of the ball, if you just change the scheme, I think we could put up at least 20 points a game. And with a defense that can hold people to 17 points, 20 points, 14 points, you're not losing games 14-6 no more. But go ahead.
Appreciate the chat, man. 80 in the chat right now. Mosley, I see you. Stephen Bloom, appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, I'm not with the Mason Graham at 3 either, y'all. I'm not.
No.
I'm not with that. I'm not.
Hell
with that
no.
At all. Rainy, what's good? Says, so what happens when the offense isn't getting first downs? I mean, that's the problem. This is just, we're talking about the alternative. If they can't go Sador or Cam Ward. Now, people saying also that the Giants could trade into the second spot with the Browns. What do you think a trade like that would look like?
I think we will have to give up our 3rd round pick and maybe a 3rd next year too. 3rd or 2nd next year too. Because like you said, like you've been saying this whole time, we're going to get fleeced because they know we're desperate. That's a fact. We're going to get fleeced. Now, I'm not giving up multiple first-round picks. You could go to hell. But if they said, give us your second round of next year and your third round of this year and switch first, I think that's a good trade. You might have to even give them another later round pick because they're going to fleece us. They know what we want. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's called business, folks. I can't be mad at the Browns. Hell, everybody else fleeces. Why not? Why not we fleece you too? Hopefully, this will be the last fleece we will have to deal with.
I think the Browns are the ones that are bluffing. I'm telling y'all. I don't think they're going quarterback with that Watson situation. I think they want to iron that out first. It would be smart for them to just take a talent like a Carter or my man, what's his name? Mason Graham or Travis Hunter. So that's what I think. I think the Browns are bluffing. I think that's how it could go down. You could see the Giants trade into the second spot, take Shedeur Sanders, and then the Browns would then probably take Carter or Travis Hunter. You know, because I don't think they're really in on either of these quarterbacks with that Watson situation over there. They trade for a Kenny Pickett or something. I think they bluffing, and I think they're gonna make the Giants pay. To be honest with you. Now before we get into the free agent things, Coach says, because this is a good one right here. This is the other alternative. What about taking an offensive tackle at 3?
Okay, so let's talk about that. Will Campbell. I think he's the best offensive tackle, or the guy from Missouri. Mbagu or whatever his name is. I think those are the two consensus top tackles. That allows you to kick Jermaine Illuminor inside. Does that help this team more than Abdul Carter?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And I think that would drive this fan base absolutely insane. But it does help your offensive line a whole lot. Because if you got Will Campbell at right tackle, Illuminor at right guard.
Or like Steven said, trade down and take Campbell.
You can do that too to get more picks. But I can't let go of Carter. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not.
I can't do it. If Abdul Carter wasn't the dude that he is, I would say do it in a heartbeat. Let's say if Mason Graham was the third best player, I'll be like, trade down. But I can't miss out on Cam Ward Sanders and Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter.
Crazy work.
That's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? So I can't let that go. Carter is the last game changer behind those two dudes. I really believe so. Because of Will Johnson is not going to do it from Michigan. Mason Graham is not going to do it from Michigan. Campbell is nice. And don't take this as saying like I'm saying they're sorry players. They're not sorry players. They're just players at positions that we don't particularly need to get to compete in the NFC East. You know what I'm saying? Does Will Campbell change things? Yeah, but if that offense doesn't change, it really don't mean shit. It don't. If you draft Travis Hunter, like NYG is saying, he's basing on what he's seen. You know what I'm saying? What I've seen from the way they call offense, Travis Hunter doesn't really change shit. You're gonna get him hit and hurt. So let's just say based on what we've seen from the offense, Carter is the best way to go. I'm gonna just keep it at that. And if anybody wants to come and challenge or whatever I'm saying, we'll open up the call lines a little later if NYG feels like it, and we'll talk.
Yeah, we're gonna open it up here in a little bit. I do want to get to the free agent stuff here in just a second, but that is a very interesting proposition here. You know, if they did go offensive tackle, Jay Ferry says light-skinned Jermaine inside would be a badass swing tackle backup. I mean, it would be. I can't lie, but I don't think that helps you as much as Abdul Carter, drafting Abdul Carter or the quarterback, obviously. So we're going to take a little commercial break here, get into the free agency news, talk about that a little bit, and we could also tie this into the draft. Keep your questions going, keep your comments going, man. This is a dope Giants conversation. Like I said, we'll open up the call line here a little bit later, but let's hear a word from one of our bros, Mr. Man Cave, man. Tap into the Man Cave podcast, tap into Knicks at Night podcast as well. Man Cave doing great things over there, man. Appreciate the brother, man. So let's hear from him, and then we'll be right back.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
For the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. Guard.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called The Man Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rushing, please. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy Jay Boogie. You now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Cave. Hit that like button, man.
Appreciate you, K, man. But let's get into some of this free agent stuff here.
So, this part of the show, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go over some of the free agents that we signed. Shout out to Man Cave, man. Shout out to the production of these shows. Hopefully, you guys see the production that we give you guys. Try to give you guys a different flavor when it comes to this content creator. Shout out to Big Blue for, you know, his comment. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do over here. But since, you know, a lot of guys, you know, they look at, hey, yo, Big Pat always just saying everything is just great and everything. No, I actually look at the people that these guys sign. So hopefully this is a guy that will futurely be here on the show, Baldy. And he does Baldy's breakdown. So I want you guys to see what Baldy is looking at with these guys. And he really says some of the same things that I say about these guys. But let's hear what Baldy has to say about a couple of our free agents here. The first one we're going to talk about is Chauncey Golston, the defensive tackle / DN that we signed from the Cowboys that Micah Parsons' feelings was hurt when he left.
Yeah, no bullshit. Yup.
You know what I'm saying? So let's listen to what Baldy has to say about Chauncey Golston.
All right.
The Giants got an up-close and personal look at Chauncey Golston, their newest defense lineman from the Cowboys. And here he is against Pittsburgh. All right? It's 3rd and 1 right here. He's going to fight off the tight end, all right, escape, and then take down Justin Fields for no gain, forcing a 4th down right there and a punt. All right, you like that. But it was a breakout year for him. On 3rd and 9 right here, he was an interior rusher in their sub packages, right? So you got your outside rushers, you got your inside rushers. Here he is against Zeitler. All right, beats him clean to get to Jared Goff. All right, 1 of 5.5 sacks on the season. Now, he's got some quick twitch to him. You watch him right here. Watch him escape right here, Taylor Decker, the left tackle. See that? The quick swim. Inside move. Now, he takes down a talented Jahmyr Gibbs for a 4-yard tackle for a loss. Had a lot of big plays this season against San Francisco. Now, you want to measure how you are as a run defender. Go up against Trent Williams like he does right here. Watch him take on Trent right here on this outside zone. All right? play on his outside shoulder, get free right here, and take down Garendo for a 2-yard gain. That's excellent play against Trent Williams. Everybody would want that on the resume. Now, you watch him right here, and watch this, a highlight play of the year for him. He's going to read this play and trail it. It's a screen to Brian Robinson Jr., and it bounces off him and into the hands of Colston. He gets his first career interception, and the Commanders could not tackle him. And then I did say, like, you watch him right here against Carolina. All right, now, you watch this twist right here with Odigizua. All right, a tackle and twist. He just collapses the guard, Damian Lewis, and takes down Bryce Young. I did say it was a breakout year for him. So you watch him right here against Cody Mock, the right guard of Tampa. Inside rush, all right, pushes him, takes on the block by Graham Barton, sheds the block, and then chases down Baker. I mean, 5.5 sacks, bunch of tackle for losses, 13 starts, been healthy, 6'5", 270 pounds, got a lot of range to him, a lot of flexibility to how you play him in your defensive fronts.
So here, I don't have a major ego. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a major ego. I say I believe Chauncey Golston is a great pickup for this team, and me and NYG have been saying it the whole offseason. Get some of these guys from the NFC East teams and watch how it changes. Look at my boy Dante Fowler. Went from Dallas to the Commanders, back to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Does have a great motor, has a great play strength, and is quicker than you expect. And I believe he will be a very good asset in the run game. I said that when we picked him up. Everybody, who is that? Oh my God, and he only got 5.5 sacks. You're not bringing him to be a sack master. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys take from Baldy, since he's on TV and since he does know what he's talking about. He does. I said some of the same things before I even seen Baldy's break. That's my first time watching it. And he said some of the same things that I just said about Chauncey Golston. I think he helps out this defense tremendously when it comes to situational pass rush and situational run defense football. He does. And hopefully we can get Baldy here on the show here soon. He's busy, but he said he will be here as soon as he gets a break. He'll be here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. And we're going to talk some film. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either. But NYG, what do you think about that?
I think having Chauncey, and somebody put it in chat, he's could be our new Chris Canty, and how I interpret that is when the Giants have always been good, especially on defense, they've always had a rotation of pass rushers. You can't rely on just two guys to get to the quarterback all game long. You got to rotate guys in and out, different packages. You can move this guy along the defensive line. Cool. Versatility, getting after the quarterback. Bring him in waves, bring him in waves. Now, guess what? In the fourth quarter, maybe your defense can finish some games and your guys ain't wore out because your offense ain't moving the football. Or if it does or doesn't, it's game-to-game situations. Sometimes you're going up just against a good defense and you ain't going to be able to score no points, and you need your defense to hold up for the entire game. We've seen over recent years the Giants defense folds in the second half towards the end of the games and in the fourth quarter because these guys was wore out. Now with guys like Golston in here, and if they were to draft Abdul Carter, good Lord, you have a shit ton of pass rushers.
That's why I'm liking that Abdul Carter a whole lot more, bro. Like, we got a rotation for your ass. We get somebody like Abdul Carter. We got a defense that can compete with the Commanders' defense, the Dallas defense, the Eagles' defense. We got a defense. And it's a step at a time. But go ahead, NYG, my bad.
Nah, you good, man. And I do like that Golston signing more and more. The more and more I think about it, because that's what we need. And that's some of the things like we've been talking about is having depth on the D line. And this is a great signing. You get him from the Cowboys, so he can kick the Cowboys' ass twice a year, go out there and get revenge on them. So that'll be dope. But more importantly, I think this helps your defense finish games. And that's important. When you have depth, you can finish games in the NFL. So Giants have been too top heavy, especially on the D line. So I'm definitely loving this signing. Now, let's get into let's see what we got here. Paulson, is it a Debo?
Yeah, Debo.
Paulson, a Debo, man. So Paulson, a Debo, Paulson, a Debo signing 3-year deal worth $54 million with the Giants. Now they add him in the rotation with Deonte Banks, Cordell Flott, Drew Phillips, amongst others. Now, he did come off a injury, a broken femur in October. So, but the talent is there. We needed a corner. I think they're going to kind of be a 1A, 1B, or 2A, 2B, however you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? With him and Banks. And hopefully this will allow Banks. This will take some pressure off Banks, and he don't have to go up against every team's number one wide receiver. Hopefully, like Pat mentioned, they play more man now, because I hate that zone shit. I really do. I can't stand when my defense is just sitting back in zone, allowing quarterbacks to pick us apart, go down the field. We need to get pressure, So hopefully this will allow them to play more man coverage, and guess what? Allow our pass rushers that we just talked about last segment to get to the quarterback. What you think about Paulson Adebo, Pat?
Once again, I believe when we did sign him, I believe he was the second best corner in this free agency period. I still think Javaris Ward a better pickup for the NFC East, but I am not mad at Paulson Adebo because the more film I watch on him, he was very aggressive and he's a ball hawk. And we all know that we need a ball hawk in the secondary to get ourselves some turnovers, to get that defense off the field. He takes chances. Yes, he does. Aaron Stone, yes, he does get some penalties here or there, but hell, we get penalties without Paulson Adebo. It's not like we were, not getting flags. So, you know what I'm saying? But if he gets a flag and he gets aggressive in the red zone and gets a pick, it's all worth it. You know what I'm saying? But here's another player that Mr. Brian Baldinger broke down, and I want you guys to hear what he has to say about it because, like I said, it's about clout with this fan base. You know what I'm saying? Big Pat saying it really don't mean anything because it's just Big Pat. But if somebody that backs me up about it, like a Brian Baldinger, then it's, the gospel. So I've come to agreement with that. It's okay. I don't have ego, but I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these players because I study it too hard. So let's hear what Mr. Baldy has to say about Mr. Paulson Adebo. And you guys take it for what you want to take it for.
Be right back, Pat.
Take a look at the Giants' newest corner, Paulson Adebo, down here at the bottom. He's been the left corner in New Orleans the last 4 years. Third-round pick out of Stanford. But his specialty is press man coverage. He's excellent. In fact, he's got 28 passes defensed.
Ooh. Sorry, guys. I don't know what that was, but we'll get right back to it. I don't know what that was.
Let's take a look at the Giants' newest corner, Paulson Adebo, down here at the bottom. He's been the left corner in New Orleans the last 4 years. Third-round pick out of Stanford. But his specialty is press man coverage. He's excellent. In fact, he's got 28 passes defensed in his last 22 starts. This is what he does. You watch him right here, okay, in phase, all right, right in the upfield shoulder, right where he belongs. Now, when Dak makes this throw, all right, the receiver falls down, but there's Adebo. You see, he's got 10 interceptions in these 4 years with the Saints. He's got real ball skills. Press man coverage is his specialty, and he's excellent with the ball in his hands. But even when he was at Stanford, he had 8 interceptions in 2 years at Stanford. Real ball skills. But you watch him, even right here. The Falcons are in a bunch formation. Drake London is going to come out of the bunch. They're going to be in off-man coverage. So whether he's press man or off man, his skills remain the same. Back foot in the ground. Now watch the break on the ball. Perfect. All right. Excellent job. Not interfering with Drake and playing a good position. Now you watch this right here. Like here he is against Darnell Mooney. All right. You watch this trail technique. It's two deep man under. So he's in a trail technique on Mooney with the safety over the top, and he reads the route perfectly and defends that pass. So no matter what kind of man coverage you're playing, he's there. Now here he is on the goal line, okay, against Juju Smith-Schuster and Mahomes. 10 toes on the goal line. That's the defense. Don't give up any ground right here. Keep it all in front. Again, ball pops up, and here comes the defender, Colin Saunders, with the interception. He caused that interception, even though he didn't make the interception himself. Now, he wins with technique. Here he is against DeAndre Hopkins. Watch him get his hands on him. Bam, right there. Now, he forces him to the sideline. He gets his head around right here, and he picks off the ball. He wins with his feet. He wins with his technique. All right, now, here, Ramondre Stevenson goes on the backfield. He goes up, and he presses the wide receiver right here. All right, this is what he wants to do. Now, again, he's in perfect position to defend this pass. All right, but you watch him right here. Like, this is 3rd and 1. All right, now, his ability just to recognize the play, speed of recognition. All right, they want to get the ball on the outside right here to ETN, and he's going to blow the whole play up. Avoids the guard. It takes down ETN for a tackle for no gain, setting up the 4th down. Great zone eyes, okay? Like he's cluing. He's going to play with his butt to the sideline right here and clue the quarterback right here. Sees it all. Now, zone coverage, trying to get the ball to Cole Kmet, the tight end. All right, zone eyes, great break on the ball. Whether it's man or zone, his eyes, they win for him. Very smart player. Coming back from a broken leg last year. He's healed. He's doing backflips on tape. Paulson Adebo, the Giants, got themselves a real good press man cover corner. That's 6'1", 190 pounds. All the length that you want and ball skills you need.
So what did Baldy say that meant a whole lot in that segment to me? Suppress man corner. Even if he's off man, he's still a man corner. You do not want all our corners to be in all that zone because they're very aggressive. They're always going to keep their eyes on the quarterback to try to make something happen. Him. So if you keep putting him in zone, you're putting him in a bad situation. Run zone when it's 3rd and 18, 3rd and 19, and let your defensive line get in there. Do that. But make them earn it. The Eagles, they make you earn it. The Cowboys, they make you earn it. The Commanders, they make you earn it. Even though their cornerbacks were trash, they were still in man making you earn it. You know what I'm saying? So don't misuse these dudes. I think it's the philosophy, man. It's the philosophy with this team, bro.
It is.
We have a whack philosophy for
really is.
Some of these guys that are actually a lot better than what you think. But what you think about it, NYG?
Like I said, I like the Adebo signing. You know, I think it definitely helps our secondary, our young secondary, along with we're gonna get to the other the big signing here. But I mean, you need players. You need players. I've been the one saying they should have spent on a corner because they can't draft them very well. So, and you needed to take some pressure off Deontay Banks because he was just out there getting roasted and toasted last year. So, you know, hopefully he can get his mind back into the game and make this secondary a legit strength of this team. But another signing, Roy Robertson Harris, tackle, D tackle, signing a 2-year deal. more of a depth piece. I guess they're going to add him to the rotation with Nunez Roches. Don't understand why he's still on this ball club, but Harrison, 32-year-old player, according to Giants fans, that is like he's 60, but I think he can still give you a couple good years. Split last season between the Seahawks and Jaguars. Big body pass rusher who can set the edge. Definitely need that to help our, that run defense. Pat, I rely on you when it comes to film. Talk a little bit about Roy Robert Harris and what he can add to this defensive line rotation.
Roy Robert Harris, he's a guy that gets upfield. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's a guy that gets directly upfield. And that's a guy that you actually need on a team like this because he brings a certain element to this team that we don't have with Nunez Roches and all those guys. He's a big dude. He will get his hands up and defend passes, and he goes straight uphill. So with a guy like Dexter Lawrence, let's say on third down, like a 3rd and 5 or a 3rd and 6, if you could put him there and he gets straight upfield against one-on-one, that could be a problem. See, this fan base just looks at dudes like that's just supposed to be a J.J. Watt type person all the time. No, even J.J. Watt had dudes like Vince Wilfork out there to handle what they're supposed to do in order to let your players like a Brian Burns or Thibodeau or Dexter
glue guys. Yeah, glue guys.
Yeah, you need those guys on the field. So if this dude is going straight up the field and he's a problem, they're like, man, we got to stop him from doing that. Okay, we're going to shed a little bit towards this side. Guess what? Now Dexter Lawrence gets free to do what he wants to do. Guess what? Brian Burns is getting one-on-ones all game. Thibodeau is getting one-on-ones all game because this dude is doing what he's supposed to do at a heavy clip, at a very good clip. A lot of people don't understand that you need rotational players to be a good defense. It's not just a one-man show. You can't have 99s all over the board. And even if you had 99s all over the board, if their skill sets don't mesh, you're not going to be good. He brings a certain element that what we haven't had. No, Roches can't do that. So it's easy to block him with Dex out there on the field because you're not worried about his speed going lateral up the field. Not lateral, but vertical up the field. This dude brings that. So you will see him in a couple of packages against teams like the Eagles. I think he would be a good team versus the Eagles because he could get straight up the field. So if you can hit Barkley in the backfield, that stops him from getting those 60-yard runs. If you have a dude like Ghostin that can hold the edge instead of Thibodeau against somebody like the Eagles, that's okay. That doesn't mean Thibodeau's a horrible player. No, Chauncey Ghostin's skill set fits this team better. You got to think like that, man. I got dudes with certain skill sets. And if you bring your ass out there on the field and my dude's skill set punishes your offensive scheme, I'm going to play him. Okay, Thibodeau, you're not going to get as many snaps as you usually would get against other teams because today they do something that you're not good at. But Roy Robertson Harris is good at doing that. So, Harris, get ready. It's called chess, man. You need guys like this on your team. But I digress.
Nah, that's a fact, man. You cooking, man. Most definitely, I do like this signing as well. Good depth piece, like we said. And the Giants have actually done a good job of adding depth to their defensive line here in free agency so far. Now, let's get into Mr. Darius Slayton. Yeah. He back again. Yep. Thought y'all got rid of him, didn't y'all? Oh, Mr. Slayton. Back again. 3-year deal with the New York Giants. I just want to say this. Congratulations to Darius Slayton finally getting his money. I think this has been one of the most disrespected players on the New York Giants. Dude had to take a backseat to practice squad players. Guys like Kenny Galladay, guys like Kadarius Toney, David Sills, Alec Bachman. You know, was a good soldier, came in and did his job. Could have left for Atlanta, re-signed, back with the Giants. Could have left again this year, re-signed, back with the Giants. And guess what? Kudos to the Giants, finally doing one of their players right. Finally taking care of your arms. Now, what does this mean on the field? This one, I'm going to turn it over to my bro, Pat. Re-signing Darius Slayton, what does that mean for the New York Giants as far as what they're going to look like on the field on offense? Because obviously Slayton is now entrenched in my opinion, as the number 2 wide receiver.
I'll say this. I am very happy that Darius Slayton is back with the New York Giants, and I'm very happy that he got the money in his class that he's supposed to get. I think he got around $13 million per year, and I said that. He's going to get anywhere between $13 and $16 million a year because that's what he deserves. That's the production that he was giving you. Now, I will say this. He's only gotten half the respect from the Giants that he's supposed to get. And the reason why I say you only got half the respect, now it's time to get the man the targets that he deserves. Stop letting this man go through seasons with 58 targets, 60 targets, 70 targets at the most. Get the man his targets. The man can be used in deep dig routes. He can be used deep. He runs one of a great slant route. Put him in digs. He's fast. Put him in drags across the middle of the field. He is fast. Use him the way that he's supposed to be used. Stop letting people like Wan'Dale Robinson come and get more targets. Stop letting people like Kenny Galladay take his targets and Kadarius Toney take his targets. CJ Board take his targets. All these guys that have left and withered away. Johnson take his targets. Come on, man. This dude has been consistent. This is the dude that people talked about shit getting rid of, but somehow, some way, he always overcomes and comes back and gets more money every time. These are some of the dudes. These are some of the dudes that this fan base disrespect. Like this dude just disrespects him. You look at his target rate compared to his yards, and then you go talk that noise about Slayton. Who on his team can stretch the field and still be a solid receiver? He's not a one-trick pony. Every time he's a focal point, he steps up. Nobody was saying he was trash in that Seattle game when he stepped up when Malik Neighbors went down and he went off because he got the targets that he was supposed to get. Wan'Dale Robinson doesn't deserve 140 targets because he's not that type of player. But if you could get Malik Neighbors his 100 targets and get Slayton his 80 to 85 targets, I bet you have over 1,000 yards. In order to get the yards, you got to get the targets, correct? You can't get the yards if you're not getting the ball thrown to you. All those deep passes Tyrod Taylor and them was throwing, who was catching them? When Tyrod Taylor came in that year and they were stretching the ball down the field, who was the dude he was throwing it to? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all about clout, man. He's another guy that's a glue guy. He's another guy that you can depend on. Those deep digs, who wants to run across the field with this dude running across the field? Nobody wants to run with him. He could be mediocre. It doesn't matter. You need mediocre people on your team. And I bet you wouldn't be saying that if you was playing with the Cowboys. I put money on it. You put that dude over there with the Cowboys with CD Lamb and watch that dude go off. Because guess what? He's going to get the targets. When everybody was saying he's trash when they had all those people playing in front of him, who stepped up and became the number one receiver that year in 2022? It was Slayton. You see what I'm saying? Slayton knows his team. He knows the area. He's shown that it don't matter what you say about him. He's going to keep coming back. And he's
Darius Slayton
playing.
has never had 100 targets in his career.
Never. The highest
Never.
he had, I believe, was 80.
96 targets in 2020. And he had 84 his rookie year. And ever since then, it's been 58, 71, 79, 71.
And guess what? He was playing out of position. He was playing the number one receiver all those years. He's not a number one receiver. He's a great complementary receiver. And guess what? With Malik Neighbors out there,
Hell, even when he was a number one, he didn't get 100 targets. So
right.
Shit.
He's not going to be playing out of position anymore. He's a good number two and an excellent number three. He's better than most number twos, and he's better than all number threes in the league. I'm sorry, he just is. That's why he's back. So you can hate on him all you want. He's still here. Through all the garbage, he was right there with Daniel Jones through all those years. Ain't nobody listening to Bobby Skinner. We were saying this before Bobby Skinner was talking about Slayton, sir.
Don't cap, bro. I made my very first video about this man.
That's a fact.
That is total fucking cap. I was talking about him before Bobby Skinner. And no disrespect to Bobby. That's our boy. But yeah, nah, don't do that. Nah, we don't copy off nobody. All our shit is original, B.
That's a fact. I've been talking about Slayton since he was drafted as a rookie. Remember, he was a 5th round pick, averaging 700 yards on a horrible roster, a horrible team, averaging 700 yards. Imagine that he was in a scheme that benefits him and on a better team. He could be a 1,000-yard receiver easily. He could be a 1,000-yard receiver, only like 65 to 70 catches easily. This is a dude that can average over 20 yards a catch if you allow him to. But I'm happy with the signing, bro.
Me too, man. Me too. And like I said, man, good for Slayton getting his money, man. I'm glad he's back here with the New York Giants. Now, let's get into James Hudson III. Now, Hudson III, offensive tackle, 2-year deal with the Giants. More depth on the lines. Good job, New York Giants. Keep it up. Started 17 games during his 4 seasons. Says he should fill in for the swing tackle spot for the Giants, given the fact that they are talking about moving Evan Neal into guard. So you move Evan Neal to guard. This is going to be your swing tackle here, apparently. What's your thoughts on James Hudson III, and do you think he can hold down that swing tackle spot?
I'll say this. I think he's better than what a Zudu and them are.
Can't get much worse.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a depth piece, and hopefully Brasillo can get a hold of him and teach him how to be a better offensive tackle. Am I willing to go into the season as James Hudson as my swing tackle? No. I'm just going to be honest with you, but it is a body to put out there to see exactly what he can do. And what he's supposed to do is come in there and beat out guys like McKeithen and Zudu and the dudes that we sign off people practice squads. It allows you to put Evan Neal. Yeah, that's a fact. Where these dudes getting that stuff from? You ain't got to copy off nobody. But a lot of people copy off us, but we'll keep that under wraps. But having him as a swing tackle, I do believe it can. I will still go in the draft and get one. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying that he's trash. I'm not saying that he's bad. I just think that this offensive line needs assurance policies on starters, backups, and backups. I like what's his name, Kubas, or I like him too.
Kubas,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can have a rotation of somebody like him and Jake Kubas and a couple of rookies to get them trained up when Luminor and them get a little old in the tooth, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just excited that they see an issue with the office. We signed back Stenny too. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we have backups on top of backups, and we should draft guys to back up those backups or beat out those backups that we have, because the offensive line is a major issue when somebody goes down. That's just a fact.
Absolutely. Next signing, Chris Board, linebacker, 2-year deal. Looks like this guy's mostly a special teamer. Get it at I don't know what it is with these Board guys. They like, remember CJ Board, they had him around for years for special team purposes. So Chris Board, any thoughts on the Chris Board signing? I don't really got too much to say about him.
Very good special team guy. We got people like Bryce Ford Wheaton on special teams. Dane Belton is actually pretty good on special teams. That's why he's still here. I think we can have one of the better special teams with guys like him being signed. And this Giants fan base act like everybody you sign has to be the best player at their position. No, you have to sign guys like this too. Our special teams was whack last year. You know what I'm saying? In coverage. That is a part of the team. Special teams coverage is great because if you get a good punt and it's down to the 5-yard line, but he can return it out to the damn 30 because your special teams coverage is whack, it defeats the purpose of pinning somebody down. So, yeah, I like to sign him, and he's a special teams player, and that's okay.
All right, we'll see if he can make our special teams special because they have been trash.
Especially
in recent years. All right, now the big one we're going to talk about here, and then we're going to open up the call lines here in the next segment. Javon Holland, 3-year deal, safety from the Miami Dolphins. A lot of people complaining about this signing because the Giants didn't give that money to Xavier McKinney. I'm not at all. I'm not at all. Reports was they did offer McKinney a similar style deal, and he opted to go to Green Bay. So Javon Holland, man, I think he changes his secondary tremendously. Him and Tyler Nubin, that's a nice little 1-2 punch you got back there at safety. This guy's been a very, very good player in the league. I'm gonna let Pat break down his film for you here in just a minute, man. But talk to the people, man, about what Javon Holland can add to this defense on the field.
I think Javon Holland is another ball hawk that the New York Giants seem to be like, hey, look, we need some people that can take the ball away from the offense. So they got Paulson Adebo, and they got Javon Holland. Both of them have shown that they know how to get the ball as far as making fumbles and interceptions. I do believe this allows a Nubin to play in the box where he seemed very comfortable before he got hurt. Like, he played very well. He was in there making tackles. He was running through offensive tackles and guards to get after people. So this allows Nubin to develop more as well. So you don't have to have somebody like the safeties that we had, like Dane Belton out there. No, Javon Holland can go out there and cover a slot receiver if need be, and you can put Nubin out there as a deep safety because he could do that as well. So in dime packages, you can have Phillips and Nubin out there guarding those slot receivers, while Tyler Nubin can play back there deep because he's known to be a ball hawk too when you allow him to be. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, this fan base always wants to complain, oh, he didn't give Xavier McKinney the money, but you give it to Javon Holland. Well, can't somebody learn from their mistakes? Let's just say that was a mistake. Did he not just show you that he learned from his mistake and got you a safety that I think could be on the same level as Xavier McKinney? Mm-hmm. And Xavier McKinney made the best decision for him because the Packers told him what they were going to do with him, and it showed. And guess what? He got $17 million from the Packers. We offered him the exact same type contract that they offered to Javon Holland. He took $2 million more and went to a system that they said, hey, look, we can make you that ball hawk that you're supposed to be. You don't have to be in the box like you were with the Giants, and you could be a damn defensive year candidate with us because we know how to use you. Easy decision by Giants. Now, did he have to leave and make it seem like we didn't offer him anything? No, I think that was wrong because that report is true that they offered the same contract they did Javon Holland. They saw value in you. They just didn't see $17 million worth of value in you. They saw $15 million. And we got a comp pick. So
yeah, Jay points that out. Got a 3rd round comp pick, yo, and you end up with Holland. So I take that deal. I swap out Holland and for McKinney. I mean Holland in the 3rd for McKinney.
That's a fact. So I think you did a good job here, but let's see what Mr. Brian Baldinger has to say because looks like old Pat taking everything from everybody else, I guess. I guess it feels good to hear other people say it than people around here. So let's see what Baldinger has to say.
Take a look at the Giants' newest safety, Javon Holland. He's a free safety, but he really can play anywhere. Here he is in the middle of the field, the deep safety right here. And he sees everything. He's got great range. And so when right here, Javonte Williams breaks free, he saves the tackle, saves the touchdown, saves a big play. Great tackler in the open field. But like I said, he can play anywhere. So here he is, right in the middle of your screen. He's going to be a robber right here. All right, just that robber position. Now just go and play the ball. And he gets the ball out. He's a playmaker, no matter where you put him. Like he's going to make things happen right there. Now, Javon Holland, when you watch him, he was a 2nd-round pick out of Oregon 4 years ago. Still young. Here he is again at the free safety position. And you watch him right here. Here comes Cortland Sutton. All right. Doesn't make the tackle there, but watch this peanut punch. The peanut punch, he's perfected. Ball's out on the ground. And they recover the fumble right there. All right. Now, so you look at some of these things. You watch him right here on 3rd and 1 at the line of scrimmage. Because I said he can play anywhere. So here he is, just a great knack for the ball. Where's the opening? How can I penetrate right here, beat the offensive line, and take down Ramondre Stevenson for a 4-yard loss? You know what they got to do? They got to punt after the play like that. All right, now, you watch him man-to-man up here at the top, right, with Evan Ingram. All right, so the tight end split out wide. He's got to match up with them. So here you go. Like, he can cover safety, right, on your tight end or your running back when needed. So he's got a lot of versatility to his game. And then you look at him right here. Like, here he is, deep safety right here. All right, looking at everything, sees everything before the snap. By definition, he's the last line of defense. Here comes Travis Etienne. All right, he's looking to score. But there's that peanut punch. There's Javon Holland saving the touchdown, getting the ball out at the same time. Great play at the goal line. Now, he's not going to save lives, but he's going to save touchdowns. Like here's Tony Pollard breaking free. All right, get him down on the ground. Don't let him score. Make him earn the touchdown. Whatever it takes, get him down. That was a Monday night game 2 years ago. All right, now you watch him right here. Anywhere on the field, he can line up. All right, here he is at the end of the line of scrimmage against San Francisco in this blitz zero look that Miami would play from time to time. All right, and now he comes off on the back. Probably feels like he should have had that interception right there as they try to get the ball to Taylor out of the backfield. And then right here he is against the Texans. Like, they're going to get a great tackler. I mean, that's the number one job of the safety.
That's what we
need. To get guys down. Don't let big plays occur. You get good safety play, you keep the score down in games. That's what Javon Holland has done for 4 years in Miami.
So,
all right.
That's why I like guys like him, because he has instincts, like Jay Ferris just said. He has instincts. That's what we need on this team. NYG has been preaching instincts on every position for 3 years now. And he has those instincts. He can read those quick receiver screens that we seem to get killed by for like the past 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, to go back to a previous conversation, I wouldn't mind getting Abdul Carter because we have 3 people that can line up anywhere. Newman can do it, Holland can do it, and Abdul Carter can probably do it. If you got guys that can line up in multiple positions and still be effective, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? If we got 3 guys that can do that and they can be played at anywhere at any given time, that's dope. Maybe it makes somebody like what's the dude that we got from the Cardinals?
Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, it may make somebody like Isaiah Simmons even more, valuable to the team, to where you could play these dudes at any type of position. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with it, man. I love the signing. I loved it when they signed him, and it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is, man. I think he makes people on your defense better because he can be, so good at many different positions on the field.
So, to wrap it up, they signed this Stone Forsythe. He agreed to a 1-year deal. You got anything on him, Pat?
Another camp body, another guy that you bring in to see if he can beat out some competition. That's one thing that this offensive line needs, bro, at all levels, at the starter level, at the backup level, and the backup level. You need competition. Can he come in and beat somebody out? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Stone Forsythe, he's pretty big and he's pretty good. He got decent feet. And this could be a guy that you can depend on to be that third swing guy. You know what I'm saying? Just in case we get a bevy of injuries on the offensive line, which we seem to get every year. You know what I'm saying? So I know Azudu is not it. I know the guy that they got from the 49ers is not it. I know McKeithen is not it. You know what I'm saying? I know all those other guys that they brought in is not it. But you got veterans battling veterans. And a lot of the times that makes one of those veterans
somebody got to stand out.
Yeah, somebody got to stand out because somebody gonna have to feed their family.
Facts. Again, re-signing Smith Marset, pretty good kick returner for the Giants last year. Like that move. What's your thoughts on Marset?
Hey, cool. Go get me Jimmy Horn in the 5th, 6th round. And your return game is solid. Go get me Jimmy Horn somewhere down there, down the line.
Giants also bringing back Greg Van Roten. Started last year for the Giants at right guard. What's your thoughts on Van Roten? I know a lot of people wanted him gone, but they ended up re-signing him. I'm guessing to compete for that right guard spot with whoever they bring, Evan Neal or whoever it is. What's your thoughts on Van Roten, though, Pat?
I wanted to upgrade, but Van Roten was not terrible. He was the sore thumb last year, and only because I think the offensive line was very good before Andrew Thomas got hurt. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But I'm not mad at it. You couldn't get one of the bigger offensive guard positions.
Yeah. They wanted Will Fries,
Yeah, maybe because you weren't willing to go the price that it would cost to get them. Me personally, I would have restructured some contracts, but maybe they don't want to restructure any contracts. Maybe they don't want to put any void years on these contracts. So that's the way they're going about it. And when you go about it that way, some guys you're not going to be able to get at the price tag that they are commanding, because you want to have money in season to do some things in season. So will it be a mistake? The only time will tell. Me personally, I would have restructured somebody and went after one of those top offensive guards. I don't give a damn about no Aaron Rodgers, but it's on you. What do you think about this, NYG?
Yeah,
I'd like to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro. Like, my main thing was for them to go out and get a guard. Just like it says here in the article, you're bringing back the same starters from last year's 31st ranked offensive line. Where have you gotten better than that? Now you're depending on Evan Neal to take a leap at guard and hadn't played there in his professional career. Are you bringing back Van Roten? You hoping for health, I guess, with Andrew Thomas. You got a Jermaine Oluminor still there. He's solid, but don't feel like you improved. So now it kind of feels like you got to go the draft route, which that can get complicated depending on what happens at 3. You know, you might have to go QB in the 2nd round. You know, so when you take a guard in the 3rd, you know, I would like to add a receiver. You know, you got other positions you need. So Van Rotten's not the worst guard, to be honest, but I wanted to upgrade, like you said. Now, they always want to skimp on the offensive line for some reason. I just don't understand it. I mean, last year it looked like they made some pretty good moves with Runyon and Illuminor, but you still need to bring more people in. Can't keep bringing the same guys back. Say, get better. Carmen Basillo, offensive line coach. Do you think he can make this line better in year 2?
I think he made it better in year 1 until the injuries happened. And unfortunately, that's part of the game, so you have to prepare for that. So, Priscilla, you got to come to the table and get some of these backups ready to be starters. I mean, that's just what it is. Fair or not, you have to depend on him to get these guys ready. But I do believe he had the starters ready last year. I believe he had them ready because Daniel Jones had more time than I've ever seen him have in the beginning. Remember, they were ranked in the top 15 in the beginning of the season before Andrew Thomas get down. So now is the time to look at your offensive line coach. What do you do when your top player goes down? The Eagles, they can have their whole offensive line go out and still be good. They had the best center to probably ever play in Kelsey retire. And he came in
no drop off.
And no drop off. They actually won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So you can say they actually got better. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Mekhi Becton comes in, a bust from the Jets. He comes in. Everybody looking at him like he's damn near a Pro Bowler. Got himself another deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be on Priscillo. Fair or not, it's going to be on Brisetto to get people like Evan Neal ready if that is the plan, which it looking like it is, but it is what it is.
All right, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, linebacker, 1-year deal with the Giants. Looks like another special teamer. So there's more depth there for the Giants. And then the final one is D-tackle Jermaine Ledbetter. More depth on the D-line, more depth. Any comments on Flanagan-Fowles or Ledbetter, the 2 most recent signings for the Giants as they still wait on the quarterback?
Flanagan-Fowles will be strictly special teams. And like I said, I think we'll have a very fast and very veteran special teams this year. They went veteran to veteran route for special teams instead of just throwing out rookies out there and be like, go do something. Now you got people like Carter Coughlin, Flanagan-Fowles, Ford, Bryce Ford Wheaton,
Smith,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Smith Marset. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no more Eric Gray return and shit.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a very good signing, and I think our special teams will be a lot better this year. You'll see. Ledbetter. He's the guy that's probably going to spell Dexter Lawrence the most. He fits what Dexter Lawrence does. Is he Dexter Lawrence? No. I know how people take things the wrong way. He can give you some solid minutes and some solid snaps behind Dexter Lawrence just in case Lawrence needs a breather, which he's going to need because they play him a lot. So this is just more depth across the defensive line. It's not they didn't do fully on the trenches like NYG wanted, but they did get 3 defensive linemen, 3 veteran defensive linemen to come in here and play with Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence. And hell, looks like Nacho will be there too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I do like the depth they added on the D line. Don't like the depth they added on the O line whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, there is some reason to be excited about this defense. I will say that. If things shake right, health permitting, all those good things. We'll see what they do in the draft. They got some depth and they got some players, so now it's going to be on Shane Bowen. To see what he can do with this group. All right, let's take a little commercial break here. We're gonna hear from the ABS network, and then when we come back, we're gonna open up the calls. I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all come on up, talk to me and Pat, man. Don't be shy. But I'm gonna drop I'm gonna drop the link, and we're gonna play the commercial and come right back. So y'all sit back, chill. This is New York Giants Conversation with your boy NYG22 and Big Pat Sports Talk. We be right back.
The Raisin Man. Or just the Giants organization that really put Daniel Jones in the forefront and carried him in that type of light, man, on national TV.
$223. The suspension also opens the door for the Texans to release Al-Shahir.
Then in 1976, guess who was hired? At T-Spans. This is where preference plays the biggest.
I'm gonna have to knock this down and get the oohs and ahs of Houston.
Welcome to the Aboriginal Sports Network.
So
all right, man.
Call lines are open.
Yeah, y'all come on through, man. And let's bring up our first contestant, Mr. Coach Ed. There he is. What's good with you, Coach?
How are you?
Good,
poppin',
good.
Man?
What's going on, Coach?
Talk to us, man.
Herb Blitzberg on Twitter through Bleacher Report, Vikings probably out on A-Rod. The feeling is Minnesota wants to develop McCarthy.
Well, and that goes to show you that Aaron Rodgers is not a guy that you bring in to develop your rookie quarterback. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. So
Facts.
These Giants fans are going to decide, is clout what you want, or do you want somebody to be developed? But Coach, if you want to speak on that, elaborate on that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've never wanted Rodgers here. Unless you want to get the head coach and the general manager fired. I mean, i.e., he just did the same thing with the Jets. He would come in here and he's going to want things his way as much as possible. Not just money, but Pat, you've talked about it. NYG, you've talked about it. He wants his boys here. Yes, Adams is gone, but there's the others, Lazard and what's his little slot receiver?
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, he's going to want his boys here. So, even probably if one of his former offensive linemen are free, speak to that. So, and are you as an organization willing to sacrifice yourself to him in that regard? So me personally, I don't want any parts of it. Can he throw the football? Yes. The man can read the defense or whatever, and that's fine. You also have to have a stout offensive line because he's not the mobile, elusive quarterback that he once was. So, plus don't forget he has the Achilles, even though it's 2 years ago, and he's in his 40s. So, that's going to take away. So you need to have a stout offensive line in front of him. Could he and Neighbors be maybe create something dynamic? Sure. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not. But what about the other receivers that are here in this offense that with Slayton coming back? Wandell is here. Yes, I know his targets need to be reduced, like Pat is saying, but he still can give you something. So personally, Rodgers for me, no. And he's not even going to help if you draft a quarterback. I know he gives you the quarterback talk, oh, I'll help, whatever, but actions speak louder than words. And I've never seen it with this man. So, and I think it's, he has bitter resentment from when he was drafted and he sat behind Brett Favre and, he's not wanting to help anyone else because, you know what, he probably feels he got shirt. So that's my thought on Mr. Aaron.
Where do you think they should go? What direction you think they should go as far as the quarterback situation is concerned, Coach? Given everything that we've been hearing about the draft and given everything we've been hearing about Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, whoever else they've been throwing out there, what direction you think they should go? Because they only got one quarterback in the room right now, and that's Tommy DeVito. So obviously, you're going to have to sign somebody. What direction you think they should go in, Coach? Talk to us.
Of course, I'm a big believer in Shedeur Sanders. So, if you can get him, I get it. If you can't move up and the two quarterbacks are gone, I get it. They still have to wait on others. But if Shedeur Sanders is there, to me, that's your quarterback. He gives you everything that you're looking for. He can read. He knows offense. He knows how to play the quarterback position. He's been groomed for this, not just at Jackson State and at Colorado, but go back to when he was at Trinity Christian. And yes, his father was the offensive coordinator, but the head coach there was extremely tough on him. So mentally, he's been prepared. Great anticipation skills. He can make all the throws. He may not have an explosive arm, but he can get the ball where it needs to be, and he can make the plays. Look at Colorado. They had no offensive line. He got his hind parts hammered, and he was still productive. And then last year, look at what he did. So he's.
Let me ask you something, Coach. Why is everybody so caught up on arm strength? I know that's a big part of you got to have an arm to throw the football, but why is it like that's the end all be all with some of these analysts and things? Because I see him on Twitter, I see him on ESPN and on all these networks. Arm strength. Like there's no other part to being a quarterback except him just throwing. Like, talk to us a little bit about that. Why are people so big on arm strength, and what are some of the things you look at in a quarterback?
First and foremost, in terms of why they get on that, one of the biggest factors is Josh Allen. I mean, let's be real. The kid has an explosive arm. He can, sometimes I wonder if he can legitimately throw the football 100 yards, and that's from goal line to goal line. And that if you can get anyone close to that, that's very, very rare. So, it's what fans like. They like the ball in the air and they like you throwing it deep and, receivers running down and running under the football to make the play and catch the football. So that's, sometimes it does look good. You have a cannon arm and you could fit it in certain windows. I go back to Dan Marino. Dan Marino would fit that ball in certain windows, and he had a strong arm. So, I wasn't talking about him winning the Super Bowl. I hope that's not what you're saying to me. So,
No, he basically what he's saying is, Coach, that everybody is so enamored with this strong arm type quarterback. But you got to think, Josh Allen never had a Super Bowl. Jay Cutler never got a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never got a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I think he should have had multiple, but that's another story. But I think a lot of people are enamored with this arm strength thing is because it's the only thing that they want to see in a quarterback, because they don't want to, deep dive into what makes a good quarterback. The first thing I'm looking at as a quarterback is your maneuver ability in the pocket and your anticipation. Because if you can move in the pocket and throw in anticipation, you don't have to have a 99 rated arm to get the ball to the receiver. That 99 rated arm comes into play when you're throwing the deep ball 50 to 60 yards. Okay, cool. But Shedeur Sanders has shown he could throw that ball 50 to 60 yards. He's getting hit in the face. So obviously he has a strong arm. He doesn't have the clout arm. Clout everything. See, you could put clout arm on people like Malik Willis, people like Aaron Rodgers back in the day, Brett Favre,
Anthony Richardson.
But you got to think, your major winners, Joe Montana, did he have a super laser arm? No. Did Steve Young have a super laser arm? No. Did Tom Brady have a super laser arm? No. Tom Brady was super efficient. And could he throw the ball 60 yards? Yes, he could. So can Shedeur Sanders. That's why Shedeur Sanders is being trained by Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, exactly.
He sees himself in
Word.
Tom Brady sees himself in Shedeur Sanders, whether you want to believe that or not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is funny, Ghost Dog, but that's what it is. It's clout. Why you think they hyping up? Why you think they hyping up Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders? Only thing they can say is, he has a better arm. He has a better arm. Okay, he has a better arm. But 10-yard passes are 10-yard passes. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to say that somebody had to throw 70-yard passes every pass, then okay, now you got a point. But you're not doing that. But go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I mean, great points. A couple of things I want to touch on. First of all, talking about Tom Brady, all right? Remember, Tom Brady, when he ended up getting the starting position, who did he beat out? Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe had a cannon of an arm in comparison to Tom Brady. So, but most people don't look at that. So, and you hit it when you said Joe Montana. So,
that's what they're looking at.
That's the good one.
You know why I say a clout arm? It's because you get to say, my quarterback has a very strong arm.
Well, you know what? You're right. But I always go back to the Jets when they had Chad Pennington.
Facts.
Chad Pennington had he did not have a strong arm, but he had elite anticipation. And if you go look at most offenses and you go and you chart where all the passes go, between 10 and 20, maybe certain offenses 25 yards. That's really it. You're going to see a 50-yard pass, a 60-yard pass, 2 times a game tops, 3 times. That's it. Most of your and the 10-yard window, 15-yard window is where in your offensive schemes when you draw up your patterns. I'm telling you from experience, 15 yards is the tops that you really draw up in terms of receivers running their patterns. It's a 15-yard dig. If you run your post or your corner route, you run it at 12 to the break. So that's really where the window is. But like you said, people want to see the ball downfield, and I get it. It's to everyone else. That's what you want to see, and you love it, and with your fantasy football and all that stuff. I get it. But real football, nah. Your quarterback, it has to hit the windows because the windows will open, whether it's man or in zone, the windows will open, and he has to be able to read that, anticipate it, and put that ball to where the receiver is able to catch it and also run. Because a lot of times, how many times have we seen the receiver running a pattern and he has to reach back because the quarterback is not putting the ball in the proper point for that receiver to at least catch it. So
when it comes to arm strength,
I seen you backstage, man. If you come back up, I was just allowing Coach to get his time in. That's how we gonna do it from now on. We're just gonna rotate people in and out so people can get be able to speak uninterrupted. Get a bunch of people on there, you get a bunch of people cutting people off and stuff like that. So if you want to come back up, man, I'll let you on in a second, Miz. Go ahead, Coach.
The thing I look at when you judge a quarterback's arm strength, the first thing I want to see is, can you get it to the sidelines from the opposite hash? If you can do that, you have adequate arm strength to play in the NFL. Now, the thing that I'm most looking for is your anticipation. Are you throwing that ball from when he breaks to the outside? Are you throwing that ball when he turns his head, or are you throwing that ball as soon as he's getting ready to break into his route, and then when he turns his head, the ball is right there? You don't have to have super arm strength to do that. You want people with super arms who's late with anticipation. Sometimes that works out, but a lot of the times it don't. Because these cornerbacks, they are players too. They play too. So if you're throwing that ball late, you have to have arm strength like a Josh Allen if you're a tick late. But if you're not a tick late and you're throwing that ball with supreme anticipation, you can get away with having an 80-mile-per-hour fastball instead of a 108. You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at. What is your anticipation? What is your anticipation when you're throwing it into the zone in those tight windows? You know what I'm saying? Are you waiting for the dude to get there? And do you trying to rocket the ball in there? And sometimes that causes a lot of tip passes in the air because these are humans. You're not trying to catch 110 mile per hour fastballs all damn day. Jay Cutler, who didn't know how to take stuff off, take a little bit off of his passes. When you watch Josh Allen play, a lot of his passes, he takes a lot of that arm strength out of it because you don't need to put that much arm strength in it. He's right there. Throw with some anticipation, make it an easier catchable ball, and let him turn up the field. You know what I'm saying? But I just evaluate players on a whole different spectrum than just I watch his highlights. That's not watching film to me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I don't think so either, man. But Coach, one last question before I let you go. Then we're gonna swap Miz and what do you think? How do you think the Giants did this free agent period? And all of this stuff that I'm hearing is the New York Giants are a quarterback away from competing. In your opinion, do you think, given the moves that they made in free agency so far, and we talked about the moves, do you think they have improved enough that if they add a quarterback, they can compete in the NFC East?
Okay.
You got to start in the division first. You know what I mean?
Before I do that, you asked me about what do I look for in the quarterback first. I look for intellect. Before I get to the physical tools, I gotta have a conversation and I gotta see where your head is. One, can you handle pressure or are you going to panic? All of that. Your intellect will help you slow the game down so you're not panicking out there. Are you able to sit down and watch film, pick up the tendencies of the opposition? So this way you go out there, you can also help your teammates get better. Now, get into how did they do during this offseason. I'm learning a lot of these guys, and looking at the film, so far they seem to be, some are good. The rest are, their bodies to, give you depth along the, certain position groups to help you, your cornerbacks and your defensive line, which is definitely needed. Defensive line is needed in the NFC East because of the run game that you're going to face. You got to shut the run game down. Make teams one-dimensional. When you know what a team is going to do, it's easier to play your defense and to go out there and your players are able to do what they need to do. So offensively, I still think you need the offensive line. I know they addressed it. I still think you need some key players, especially at that right guard position. I mean, right now you're going to throw guys and let them battle it out, but I'm to the point. if you can get you a true tackle and move Illuminor to left guard and what's his name to right guard, I think
run
that
you.
would I think that would help the team out a lot more. But but if they just go with Illuminor at the tackle and get you a guard, okay, that's fine. I mean, you guys have talked about some of the ones you saw at the Senior Bowl, so we'll see. We'll see.
I like Illuminor at tackle. I know a lot of people want to kick him inside as guard, but I'm very comfortable with him starting at right tackle. I think it eases some of your concerns by not putting an unproven player at that spot. You know what I mean? Such an important spot on the line, your tackles. So having him and Thomas makes me feel a lot better about this line, regardless of what they do inside. Now, we do want to see them improve with the left guard spot, and especially at center. John Michael Smith has to get better as well. This is a lot of people aren't talking about. We kind of dismissing as if he didn't struggle as well. He's got to improve.
But if you have two guards who help him, that helps his game.
Absolutely.
So that's why that guard, yes, he does have to improve and play better. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but that's why it's key. The offensive line is the one unit that really, more than any other unit, is dependent on every last one of those guys out there because it helps. You don't realize your right tackle can affect your left tackle. It really can. So if you got to give help sometimes, and or slide the line one way, then you're becoming one dimensional. Where the defense knows what you're going to do. In this situation, they're going to slide the line to the right tackle, so we can run a stun, or we could do something. We can overload their left side and hit them that way. So then it forces you, with the running back, is that running back able to pick up the blitz in certain situations like that? So again, that's why with the offensive line, they're all dependent on each other. And if you have two stout or good guards, it can help JMS. It really can. So, but me, I'll sit here and ramble on and talk this. I know you got.
Oh, nah, you got it. You got it. You can hang around, Coach, too, man, when we in the show. But we're gonna cycle. We're going to cycle in Miz right now. So. Miz, you on, man? What's good with you?
Oh, what's up, guys? How are you?
What's going on, man? Talk to us, man. I know you got some comments on the quarterback situation, man. So go ahead, man. Talk your talk.
I do. I like what you guys were saying today. I'm not gonna go back to the past, but I got crucified. But I was saying this in January. This is what I meant when I was saying this. I'm obsessed with Abdul Carter. I love Abdul Carter. I want Abdul Carter. I understand guys want Shador. We'll see how it works out. I'm not making the picks, but I love Abdul Carter. I like what Shane's doing here. He's building the defense, a strong defense to compete with the two offenses in the NFC East in Washington and the Eagles. I think he's doing the right thing. He's stacking the front seven. We know we got to get back to stopping the run. But if you could get Abdul Carter at 3, if the draft falls out that way, and I think it's going to, I've thought that for a long time, but I got crucified. But listen, it is what it is. If Carter's there at 3, there's nothing wrong with grabbing Milroe in the beginning of the second round, or if you have to come up a few spots, whether it's Milroe or Dart, but it's probably going to be Milroe. And lately I've been I've been liking Milroe a lot because, listen, Dable's here, so I think he fits the Dable type of offense. Look, man, Milroe can run. The Giants could turn it into somewhat of a Ravens type of offense over the next 2 years if you got yourself a Milroe. That's what I believe. And then
I've said that as well, man.
Right. So, and so I'm just looking at things lately. Man, I know people really love those two guys at the top, but the way it's looking, like it's just one of them is not going to probably fall to 3 now. I got my beliefs that Cleveland's taking Sanders. I watched the Miles interview. If you watched the Miles interview the other day and you look directly at his face when he was talking, he hinted that the Browns have assured him that they got a plan for a quarterback. Now, are they going to get Cousins? Maybe, but I have a feeling it might be
Cousins is going back to Atlanta.
Yeah, because they're trying to trade him. They're trying to get something for him. They don't want to lose him for nothing. So they're trying to get something for him. And I don't think you would be happy with Kirk Cousins, to be honest with you. So it is what it is.
Cleveland a place that they go trade him to, since I believe his offensive coordinators in Cleveland.
Look, what the disaster of Deshaun Watson? Why would you go out there and trade for Kirk Cousins?
That's the issue right there.
That's why
I don't think the Browns are taking a quarterback, because didn't they get Pickett from who got Pickett, Pat?
The Browns.
The Browns. So they got Pickett and they got Watson. Why would you bring another rookie in there? That don't really make no sense, because that rookie's probably going to be third.
Right.
Because Watson is there. You can't do anything with him. I know they've been talking about trying to buy him out or something like that, man. That dude
here's the ordeal with Watson. If he knows the offensive scheme is going to change with the receivers that they have out there now, that may be what got him excited. Or he knows somebody like a Cam Ward is coming. You know what I'm saying? Because the Titans like Abdul Carter too, but it is looking like it's going to go Cam Ward, maybe Shador at 2. Who knows? But I don't. It could be a smokescreen. He could have just signed because, hey, they said, look, we're gonna give you $40 million a year. I'm signing for $40 million a year.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't give a damn who you put out there at quarterback.
Yeah.
You could put the Jolly Green Giant back there. I don't care.
But you got to think. I know that dude's put millions of dollars into his body as far as working out and things of such. So he needed a jump in pay, and he got that. He did get a jump. He got a leap in pay. So I don't know. It's a lot of smoke screens out there, Miz.
Yeah,
and like I said, I want one of those two guys here, but Abdul Carter at 3 with Milroe in the second round. I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'll be totally honest
hate on that myself.
I can't hate on that myself. That's an excellent plan B. And to be honest with you, it was my plan 1. If you go back to when I was talking, that was my plan 1. Get Milroe in the second round and draft best player available with the top pick. That was my plan 1.
Blue chip, Pat. Blue chip.
I mean, I'm not saying that Shador Sanders and Cam Ward is not blue chip. I think they're blue chip. I think those 3 dudes and with Travis Hunter are the blue chip prospects in this draft. But it makes more sense, listening to my brother NYG, to get somebody like Abdul Carter who could play off-ball linebacker, who could play edge rusher, damn near could play safety if you wanted to. So I'm looking at it like this. I could line up Abdul Carter with anybody out there on that field, and he's still going to make an impact. He can have a Micah Parsons type impact for this team. Not saying that he is Micah Parsons. To believe it or not, I think he could be better. To be honest with you, because he's more athletic, and I think he's more willing to play against the run than Parsons is right now in his career. So I ain't mad at it, man. I'm not mad at Abdul Carter. The only way I'll be mad at it is if Cam Ward or Shador Sanders is right there, and they draft Abdul Carter, they pass, and don't get a quarterback in the second round. You see what I'm saying? They sign somebody like Aaron Rodgers and just say, forget the quarterback, period. Then I would be mad. Yeah. But I still wouldn't be mad at Abdul Carter. I can't be, because he's too good of a player to be mad about Abdul Carter. That's just a fact.
No, I mean, just gotta ask yourself this, and you guys said it earlier already. These guys, and they're starting to make asses out of themselves. Chasing 8 days ago, I was in on Rodgers because I wanted to get a good season coming up. But now, a week later, I'm never gonna be the third guy. I'm not gonna be the choice. You didn't want it. Move on. You got Russell Wilson here. He wants to be there. Sign the guy. Tell Rodgers to go kick a goddamn rock because I'm tired of the clowny shit. And that's it, man. I know we haven't been good in a bunch of years, but I'm still not willing to check my dignity at the door, and that's what they're doing. It's not cool. Move on from that. And my other thing, what I wanted to say was, I realize they're building a front defense, a very strong defense, and these guys were part of Buffalo when they built that front seven. So that's another reason why I think Carter's on the list. But if you got to ask yourself this, if they are so hard on chasing Rodgers, how much do they really love these guys at the top, the quarterbacks?
That's a legitimate question.
That's what I said. I've said that on the show. I said if they sign Aaron Rodgers, they're not taking a quarterback at 3. This is what I know about the New York Giants, because you have to do some critical thinking here. First of all, Aaron Rodgers ain't mentoring nobody. You know, that's already understood. That's why the Vikings don't want him now. The second part of that is the New York Giants, according to what I'm hearing, they think they're a quarterback away from competing for some reason, even though you didn't win a game in the division last year. So they think they're a quarterback way to peace. So in their minds, this is not NYG saying this or the network, Aboriginal Sports Network. This is what the Giants, in their minds, they're looking at it like, hey, if we get Aaron Rodgers, we can win 8 or 9 games and save our jobs. That's what Joe Shane and Brian Dable are thinking. You know, that's what they're thinking. They thinking with what they've added, if they take Rodgers and say Abdul Carter or Hunter or somebody at 3, they thinking they can compete with the Commanders and the Eagles. I think it's foolery to think that when you're so far behind those other teams that you couldn't even win a game in a division last year, not one game. And you think one off season you're gonna just level up to competing and beating the Eagles and Commanders and hell, even the Cowboys? Come on, man. So this is on John Mara. John Mara's fault for bringing these guys back. And when he brought them back, he should have extended them, because now they are in win now mode when they know good and goddamn well y'all not winning nothing now or anytime soon. It ain't happening. I don't care if you bring in the ghost of Tom Brady, whoever, the ghost of Eli Manning, whoever. You're not competing in this division. Those teams are too strong up front, and they have weapons for days now. You've seen what Washington did. So I don't know, man. But I understand what you're saying, Miz, because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking they chasing this Aaron Rodgers situation, not because they don't like the quarterbacks. I think they love the quarterbacks. I just think they're under pressure to win games this coming up season. That's what I think.
Well, you have an owner who brought them back, and in the very next sentence, I better feel much happier about the situation next year. So you're demanding winning right away.
That's what I said.
You know that they staff their kids. So how does that work?
That's what I said. So everything that they said, they've been based on getting their quarterback, but now you put them in handcuffs. If you were that unhappy, you should have just fired them. You should have just fired them.
Thank you. And we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Right.
We wouldn't be talking about this.
What? Can I say this, Pat? Because I've said this all along, and I still believe to this day that it's a fact. When Mara hired them, I've said this a million times, you guys know this. When Mara hired these guys, he asked them to take on Jones because we've done him wrong and try to make it work. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to let you guys choose your guy later. And that's why he brought him back.
And this is the chance for them to choose their guy. So why are they chasing Aaron Rodgers? You see how that don't make no sense, what you just said?
Right. No, I get that.
You see that? It's not adding up. That's why I'm like, yo, if you really want Aaron Rodgers, you cannot be in on these quarterbacks. You can't be. Unless they're just fucking talking shit. Unless they're just trying to fool everybody. But I don't see it.
If they get Rodgers, NYG, they're going to make a run to the wild card, and that's good enough to get them another 2 or 3. That's what they're thinking.
Yep. And they're gonna get ran right out the building. They ain't running to no wild card, no goddamn where. They ran about the building. That's
You're gonna have to go through. You're gonna have to go through the Rams. You're gonna have to go through the Lions. I mean, the Lions, Vikings, or Packers. Whoever don't win that division, the other two teams. You're gonna have to go through the Cowboys or the Eagles or the Commanders. Like what wild card you gonna have to go through the Falcons? What wild cards you gonna get over there in the NFC? You see what I'm saying? You're the fourth best team in your own division. You're talking about getting a wild card after you come from a season where you didn't get one division win, not one.
Right.
That's wild.
It is wild.
You think Aaron Rodgers puts us on the level of those teams? The only way I can see it is that they have a brand new philosophy. That's the only way I can see it. Because I do believe we have talented players on offense, but that philosophy makes anybody look stupid. You can have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins with that philosophy, and it's going to look dumb. So that philosophy has to change. So maybe they got to change the philosophy. They're like, hey, look, if we run it like we ran it against the Colts with a better quarterback, we can compete. I don't know, but I do know this.
I don't think they can compete with a different philosophy. I just don't think you're strong enough up front. We just talked about it. They bringing back the same exact line from last year that got your ass whipped six times in the division.
You have to look at it. They were one of the top half echelon lines before they got hurt. They were. You can't take that from them. They were. Now, can you bank on not getting injuries? No. It happens.
That's why.
So if Andrew Thomas get injured again, that's when the bullshit starts. And if you base your thesis off that, I can't complain with that either. You know what I'm saying? But if that offensive line holds up and they come with a different scheme, I think it could be different. That's just me.
Coaching.
You know what I'm saying? But you just said, man, it's coaching. Do you trust these coaches? I don't. I don't trust Dabo. That's who I don't trust. I know Brasillo's a good coach. I don't trust Dabo or Shane Bowen after what I seen last year, because you got these guys playing in positions they're not supposed to be playing in. You ruined Banks for last year, and then Dabo on top of it makes it even worse by taking them in and out the game at any given point. He don't even know when the hell he's going to play. You got Wan'Dale Robinson being the leader in targets. How is a 5'7" receiver the leader in targets for your team? Yeah, this music is fire, Coach. I ain't gonna lie. But go ahead, man.
I'll just say this, man. I mean, we a little bit disagree, and last year we disagreed the opposite way. I did not think we was gonna have a season at all, but I feel like I like what Shane's done this last 2 weeks. Whatever free agency, I like the pieces he's added. I like the defense he's building, and the draft is going to be the biggest part of it. Obviously, I do think I'm not going to say the Giants are a wild card team, but I do think the Giants could play meaningful football around Christmas time, and then get knocked out around there. And you called out a good season compared to what it's been the last 2 years.
Miz, have you seen that schedule?
Yeah,
that shit is brutal. It is brutal, bro.
But
like you playing the AFC West, and I think the NFC North. Yeah,
all the big time teams. I know.
Yeesh.
But let me ask you this, man. As older guys, right? As old school guys, what did we grow up knowing? Yo, adversity make you stronger. We got a very young team. If they play the hard teams this year and they actually compete and win 7 or, God forbid, 8 games, don't that make the Giants much better for the following year?
It all depends on what you. It all depends.
You gotta think about this
at the quarterback position.
Exactly. I was about to go there.
Yeah,
8 or 9 games don't get you a quarterback next year.
Yep.
It don't get you a quarterback next year. And guess what? If you bringing in a guy like Aaron Rodgers, depending on how it could go, he could retire. You know what I'm saying? He could retire, or he could just fall off a cliff and be in stink. So
that's what you hope. To be honest with you,
that's where this thing is kind of dicey now because you're trying to compete this year for what? Because if you say you do get to 8, 9 wins, maybe, and you say you make the playoff or you slide in as a wild card spot, you probably get smacked in the first round by the Eagles or somebody like that, Detroit. You are not in a position to go get a quarterback next year. So you passed on one last year. Well, you didn't. Well, yeah, you could say you passed on Penix and McCarthy last year. You're gonna pass. You talk about passing on one this year, and then you're gonna bring in a guy that's gonna take you out of position to get one next year. When are you getting this quarterback? All I've heard since Daniel Jones was drafted was we need a quarterback. We gotta draft a quarterback. Now here I am on the train with you guys, and now everybody jumping off. Fuck that. We'll take one next year. What the hell? Come on, man.
That's the point that we've been trying to make this whole time. If you don't get him now, then win. Because if you bring Aaron Rodgers over, and let's just say Aaron Rodgers, he gets us 8 wins and we miss the playoffs, and then the fucker just retires. Now you don't have any quarterback. So if you bring in somebody like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, you got to take a quarterback. And I don't want just any type quarterback. I want somebody like a Milroe. I don't want Tyler Show, even though I think he has talent. You know what I'm saying? I think he has talent. I don't want Jackson Dart, even though I know he's talented. I just don't think Jackson Dart would fit what it would be to be a quarterback over here with the New York Giants and the NFC. Yeah, I'm saying. It's not even about just New York anymore, bro. It's about the NFC East. Y'all got to start looking at who you playing, man. You're playing against dogs, bro. You need somebody to come over here with a dog mentality that can handle that pressure of New York and can handle the pressure of those other cities coming in here to get after your quarterback. And it goes to the trenches. And it seems like that's where we struggle. We can't draft trenches on either side of the ball. We can't draft them. And so you're going to have to start bringing an influx of veterans in here to bring in these young guys so they can learn before you throw them in there. That's why I'm glad they did what they did on the defensive side. Now, the offensive side, they didn't do shit. So is this Brian Daboll's ego again? I don't need any more offensive players because I know my philosophy is going to work. Just give me Aaron Rodgers and watch what I do. And then you go to the Eagles and get blew out 38-10. Now everybody's looking like, damn, these dudes are still our bullies. You gotta stop getting bullied, man. You gotta stop getting bullied. That's the point. That's the first step. Stop getting bullied. I don't care if you go 1-5 or 2-4 in the division, but all those games were super close and they just won because they're just more talented than you. Now that I know you have the mindset to compete, now it's time to bring in the talent. Well, you can have all the talent in the world, but if your mindset is weak, they're gonna beat the shit out of you over here. Even the Cowboys, who are not them former selves, I still think they beat the shit out of us too.
Yeah,
I'm being real. I'm just being real. You gotta stop getting bullied. Make these games close, 24-23, and they like, woo. We barely got out of there. Those ain't the same Giants no more. Those dudes are ready to play. We got to come to play. And then you might win a couple of games that you ain't supposed to win because you're tough-minded. There's no ego involved. It's about whooping ass. Damn all this ego. Damn, these are my players that I picked. No, play the best player.
Facts.
I don't care who it is. Hyatt is better than Slayton. Play Hyatt. You know what I'm saying? Create a system that's based on the people that you have. I'm tired of seeing people like Wan'Dale Robinson get more targets, Richie James getting all the targets. Like, what is your offense based off of? Because you're not running a 2 tight end system like the Patriots were doing, where you can throw it to a slot receiver that many times that's small, like a Wes Welker. You're not running that type of system. You're bringing outside dudes like Malik Neighbors who needs the ball. So what are you doing? Those outside receivers on the Patriots when they had that system was Chris Hogan, Troy Brown, dudes that you know they ain't commanding the ball. Why you think Ocho Cinco didn't work out over there? Because he needs the ball on the outside. So what are you doing?
Yeah,
That's
man.
just
But
my thought about
Let me
it.
ask you a question, Pan. Is Diggs a free agent?
Yeah,
Stephon
Diggs
Diggs,
is a free agent.
I take a gamble on him. Because
Why?
Dable had him in the past.
Why?
Where you gonna play him? Because you just paid Slayton, so I mean he would basically be replacing Wanda Robinson.
Yeah,
you would put Malik Neighbors in the slot, I guess, at that point.
No. I mean, you put Malik Neighbors in the slot in certain situations, but if Stephon Diggs is not willing to come in here and play the slot receiver and play outside, maybe half the time, and be a role player because you're not that dude anymore, then what's the point? If you're still trying to implement Wan'Dale Robinson, what's the point of signing Stephon Diggs? You think Stephon Diggs is going to sit down and let Wan'Dale? Come on, man. That dude to punch somebody over there.
Yeah, man. But we're gonna get ready to get up out of here, man.
No doubt.
Dope show, man. You know, we're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it every Sunday, man. So, you know, call back in next week. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we have some news on this quarterback, man. I'm sick of talking about this shit, man.
Right. Man.
Like, come on now. It's the second week in a row I've been talking about this on this very show. Like, sign some fucking body.
You hoping they sign Russell so we can move on already. So just sign the guy on Monday and let's move on. You know what I mean?
Sign Russell Wilson, or if you want Flacco, sign him. I don't give a damn. Just bring somebody in here so we can move on and talk about the draft. Let's see if our first two picks are Carter and Miro. How we feeling? Yeah, I love it. Love it, man.
Good.
Love it.
You want to hear a complaint from me, man?
I'm gonna get to
very possible.
I'm gonna get to a couple comments here. I got started. Mosley, appreciate you tapping in, Brody, man. I see you in the comment section. Says y'all taking Carter over Hunter. Yes. And what I said earlier, Art Stapleton tweeted out that the Giants see Travis Hunter as a corner, and I'm not drafting a corner at number 3. I'd rather just add another edge rusher to my defense and just let the corners we got duke it out.
If they see him as a corner,
I gotta tell
no
you,
way I want him.
Earlier you said I want to know, and I agree with you. I'm happy you said it, man. I do not want Hunter because I just don't see that as. It just doesn't, to me, it's not going to help us right now. Like, we just put money into this corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if their quarterback is there at 3, they go get him. If not, you got to take a Carter. I like the tackle from LSU too, but, you know, you got to take a Carter, man. I look at him like a game if your quarterback is not there. You know what I mean? That's a game changer. So it's up to you.
Absolutely. Mosley says, I'm optimistic about our roster. It's more about the coaching, primarily the offensive ability to score points. And that's the thing. They haven't really done anything on offense. It's like, how can that be the worst side of the football? But then you just saying, oh, a quarterback's going to fix all this. A quarterback fixing the drops from the receivers. A quarterback fixing the line, getting stunted on, you know, getting pressure in the quarterback's face. Is the quarterback fixing the issues you got at tight end? The play calling issues, is he fixing that? So I'm not buying this. The Giants are quarterback away bullshit. Now, I can absolutely be wrong, and they can go out there and shock the world next year and be in the Super Bowl. But goddamn, if I had to make a bet, yeah, I'm putting all my chips on black.
That's fact.
Stead ass. I'm risking it all, bro.
I'd be surprised we win 6 games.
Them motherfuckers ain't going nowhere, man. Excuse my lingo, man. But the Giants get me like this, y'all. They really do, man. This team is so frustrating. I tweeted out something Lauren Hill sung about how I feel about the Giants. So y'all go check that out. But Captain Rafe. Hold on. It says Captain Raphael says, I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to be a Giant. Giants need to reinforce the offense and defense with the run game schemes. Exactly. That's exactly what we've been talking about, Ralph. And you're right. I think he's playing the Giants. That dude don't want to come here. It don't make no sense for him. Why does it make, you ain't competing here? It make more sense for you to go to Minnesota or Pittsburgh. Two teams that was in the playoffs last year that if you go there, you got something to work with to where you could possibly go out, on a high note at the end of your career, getting into the playoffs or whatever. But coming here after you just dealt with the Jets,
it makes no sense whatsoever, bro.
That's like walking out of mud and stepping in shit. I mean,
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Don't make no sense, man. But any last words, Miz? We're gonna get ready to wrap up.
Yeah, I'll hop off. I just wanted to throw two names and then I'll listen to you guys talk about it. Because one, what do you think about Mason Graham? And is it too early because it's such a deep draft?
No.
Yeah, I'm not in on Mason Graham. And I think what you said, the last part about what you said about it being a deep defensive tackle draft, you have Dex there already. You just added a bunch of bodies. Yeah. It don't make no sense. You see what I'm saying? It don't really make no sense to go that route. Especially when you're so bad on the offensive side of the ball. The only reason I'm entertaining Abdul Carter is because I know that's a difference maker off rip. I don't know if Mason Graham's going to come in here and make that big of a difference when we already have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and whoever else. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. And to be honest with you, I'm using Abdul Carter to replace Kayvon Thibodeau because I'm moving on from him. After next season. That's kind of how I'm looking at the whole Mason Graham thing. But what else was you gonna say?
The other one, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna throw two names that I've been looking at a lot, and I wanted to know what you guys felt about it because I feel in this draft we have to also get a running back to go with Tracy. Mm-hmm. I love Hampton. He's probably going early, right? Yeah. And I like Scatterboo because he's a physical bull. Mm-hmm. That's it. I wonder what you guys feel about those guys. I think Scatterboo could be a mid-round.
Yeah, I'm a big Cam Scatterboo fan. He's the guy I would target in the mid, maybe fourth round. If you can get him in the fourth round, or maybe with your second, third round pick. Now that we got two, I would go there. I would definitely go there. Amari and Hampton, that's my dude, man. I'm a North Carolina fan. You see the UNC poster back here, man. So yeah. But I think he's going probably first round, maybe early second. Like he probably going to be the second running back taken after Genty. Mm-hmm. So, but I like him. I definitely like him, and I agree with you. We do need to get a running back. I want a bruising running back, which is why I am big on Cam Scatterboo. I think he can be that guy. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of other guys. Pat, if you want to throw some names out there before we wrap up.
Thanks for having me. Go ahead. I'm watching.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Like Randy said, I like Blue if you want that change of pace running back that's purely speed. I like Blue. But some guys I want to throw out there, Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State. You got Rocket Sanders from South Carolina. Like him a lot. There's the guy from Auburn. I think he's a good change of pace guy. I always forget his name. We got
Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter.
Is it? Yeah. Hunter. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got Harvey from UCF. I mean, you got a lot of running backs. You got the running back from Rutgers.
Raheem Sanders.
You got the running back from Rutgers that reminds me of Bradshaw a little bit.
Kyle Manunga. Yep.
It's a lot of people out there.
But
it's a lot of guys out there, bro. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want power? Do you want speed? Do you want another?
I want a power back. That's what I want.
Yeah, if you want power, Ollie Gordon or Cam Scatterboo. I think those are the dudes you go after, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. But Let's get ready to wrap this thing up, man. Definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining us today. Another lit show. Appreciate Coach coming through, Miz coming through. Appreciate everybody in the chat. And of course, always appreciate my dog, my bro, Big Cat Sports Talk, man, for holding it down with me. Another Sunday edition of Giants Conversation. Pat, man, what you got for him, man, as we get up out of here, man?
All I got is, man, compete with your division. It's the only way the Giants are going to be able to get out this hole, because if you can compete with the NFC East, obviously you can beat all the other teams. Because there's something about the end over here in the NFC East that's just different. So if I'm able to compete with the Eagles, if I'm able to compete with the Commanders and the Cowboys, and they walk away from them games like, damn, okay, this team is for real. Guess what? Those teams that we could saying that we're for real are beating the shit out of all these other teams. So guess what? We can beat up on those other teams too. We just got worried about your ass. That's the point the Giants need to get back to. We have to be worried about you, because if I can master you, that means I can master everybody else. That's the way I'm thinking about it. And that's the only way I can think about it, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get back to your glory days, as you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? You got to compete with your division. You can't go into this division and get stomped by the Eagles twice, stomped by the Cowboys twice, stomped by the Commanders twice, and expect to do anything. To compete for Super Bowls, you got to have a winning record in your division. I'm sorry. At least be 500. Because you're going to have to see these dudes not only in the season, regular season, but you got to see these dudes in the playoffs. Guess who we played when we made the playoffs in 2022 and got our ass whooped? We beat the Vikings. We were good enough to beat people like the Ravens, the Vikings, and all those dudes. But as soon as we got to the Eagles, stomp out. Because you can't compete. But that's what my thought process on it. Compete with your division, man.
And I'm right there with you. Compete with your division. Shout out Darnell, G Money, man. Yeah, definitely catch that on the recap, man. Show was lit today. But yeah, compete with your division, man, and go get a damn quarterback. Stop playing games. Go get a quarterback. I say bring in Russell Wilson and draft Shedeur Sanders. I think that's the play. I think that's the play that makes the most sense for you not to embarrass your organization. Because if you think you're going to sign Aaron Rodgers to come in here and do anything in this division, you are sadly mistaken. You're not winning nothing. So go get Russell Wilson. If he's willing to be a bridge to a Shedeur Sanders or a Jalen Milroe or whoever, that's cool. You know, at least he can come in and run your offense, and maybe y'all can compete a little bit in the NFC East. But you let him set it up for your quarterback. You let him set it up for Shedeur, or if you happen to get Cam Ward or Jalen Milroe or Jackson Dart, whoever y'all want to take. Set it up for your next quarterback, man. So that's what I'm looking for. I hope they sign somebody this week so we can be done with this nonsense, man.
And last but not least, one more thing. There's comments like this. Commanders are beatable, but they had the sorriest roster. They had the sorriest roster in NFC East. Even if that was true, it's not about the roster, it's your style of play. It's the mindset, it's the philosophy. That's what these normal fans who want to talk like they know everything don't understand. It's the way you play the game. It's chess, it's not checkers. I keep trying to tell people it's the style of play the Commanders play with. They did well by that kid, Jaden Daniels, and hopefully they keep doing the same thing, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, man, but I'm hoping the New York Giants come back, man. Just give us something, man. Don't mess this up. Do the right thing. Take the quarterback. Build your team. You're starting to make some decent moves. You had a good draft last year. Let's stack another good draft on top of that one this year. and stay away from people like Aaron Rodgers and all this clout chasing y'all trying to do, man. Just go out there, beat the New York Giants, damn what anybody else thinks, damn what they think. Take your quarterback, the one you like, which is Sanders. It's all been all over y'all face the whole time. Now you trying to backtrack with some Aaron Rodgers garbage. Like, miss me with that. And if you sign Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I'm going to bash you. Right here on Giants Conversation, man. But till next week, man, y'all already know what it is. We up out of here. Peace.
Or just a Giants organization that really put Daniel Jones in the forefront and carried him in that type of light, man, on national TV.
$223. The suspension also opens the door for the Texans to release Al-Shahir after.
Then in 1976, guess who was hired? At Chiefs fans. This is where preference plays the biggest.
I'm gonna have to knock this down and get the oohs and ahs of Houston.
Welcome to the Aboriginal Sports Network.